Alt F9. Right, we can begin. Who wishes to do a recap of the previous session?
I can do it.
Yeah.
I was going to say, who knows what happened? We've had like 2 sessions in the past 2 months.
Well, we begin at Kel's Rise, remember?
We did.
And there was monsters raiding into the valley, and we were requested by Sergeant Caleb Gamelin to go and find a patrol that was lost in the wilderness.
That's right.
We found the group about a day's walk from Kel's Rise.
The ones that lived.
The ones that were alive, that's right. Yep. And they were basically pretty run down and they'd been attacked, and we fortified the area, expecting the attack to happen overnight, and we were right. And then we beat the crap out of a whole bunch of stuff, and that was the end.
Yep, and there was. I would add that they were set on by some sort of large beast, and we did encounter some sort of large beast, which may not have been the same thing. But yeah, I believe there were orcs.
Quite a lot of orcs, yes.
We didn't really get a chance to talk to them after the end of combat to sort of see if that was the monster that attacked them either, did we?
No, not really.
Nope.
Yeah, they weren't totally sure. It sounded.
There were spiders and orcs.
All right, at this point...
Oh, and a whole bunch of like level 1 noobs managed to roll awesomely and hit me with sticks.
Yeah.
Against all odds.
They weren't level 1. They were 1 hit die. There's a difference.
Oh, well.
Level 1 creatures have a
Right,
lower
very
THAC0. 1 hit die creatures have a better THAC0.
That's
At any rate, it was still amusing because I was like, haha, you gonna hit me? Donk. Well, the next one's not gonna hit me. Donk.
This is true. All right, so, good recap. It was pretty straightforward. It was mainly to get you guys to grips with your characters a little bit. But one thing we didn't do in the last session, which we will do now, is you didn't explain...
Loot the corpses.
Well, you can do that. You didn't go through and explain at the beginning of the session who all your new characters were. So I think we should quickly do that, since you do know a little bit about each other. So we'll start on the left here.
That's me, isn't it?
It is.
Alrighty. So, Tiny Tim is a very tall dwarf, or almost a small human. It's he's very, I guess, carries a morning star and is fully armored. He has quite a large shield. In full plate. Well, no, he wants full plate one day, but he doesn't have it yet. Yeah, he's obviously a fighter type and close combat.
Cool.
Is that
would be you, Vex.
Oh, Val. Well, Valve and Varus. Well, she's kind of short for a human or a woman. She's got short hair too, just wearing robes with some leather underneath. And she's wearing some nice braces. She likes to keep to herself and keep to the back.
Cool. And is swarmed by rats.
You're swarmed by rats.
Yes.
Yeah, that's kind of also important.
She doesn't need friends when she has rats.
This would be UL. Yep.
Yep, Brel is a pretty average size for a dwarf. He has a red hair and a beard. He keeps you sort of hit. You see, a lot of the time when he's idle, you sort of see him with his glove off, and he's gloves off, sort of idly looking at a strange. Well, it looks like a ring made out of malachite, and there's an empty setting, and he's sort of just looking. A lot of time, he just sort of stares at it, like as if he's willing something to happen to it. But otherwise, you know him as he's pretty handy with a lockpick and disarming traps, and definitely has a bit of a bit of a thing for jewels and other shiny objects, because a lot of. And suddenly a small goblin enters the room. Good night.
Cool.
Good night.
Good night. So this would be the next one. That would be you, Canto.
Yep. So Jingles, he's a gnome, illusionist cleric double class. He's pretty chunky little gnome. His lovely little red hat that he always wears at all times, even when he sleeps. Likes to drink tea. He also keeps to the back, and every now and then he might, almost as if in dream-like states of imagining things that could be.
He's a stoner.
He's
Yeah,
a
we
stoner.
saw it last sesh. That blood.
Yeah.
He's
Uh,
just passing out. Yeah.
Maze is a young human. He seems pretty energetic and happy-go-lucky. He has a very fine suit of Wyvern scale armor, a large shield, wears a fair chunk of armor. He's got his animal companions, for he is a druid. And yeah, that's
That would
pretty
be
much
a bear
Mhm.
and
a bear, a mountain lion, and 3 ice foxes. Snap, crackle, and pop.
That's right.
Did you name the bear and the lion as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So Oberon is the lion, and I named the bear. What did I name the bear? Something. Can't remember.
he's at the fair. That's where he is.
I think it's Barrett or something.
It is.
like that.
Yep.
Oh, good. Yeah. Which I think means strong. Anyway, whatever.
So I'm glad you're,
Look, I don't.
Hey,
I
it's
remember
better than-
sort of what I named them for
It's-
sort of the reasons that I named them.
It's better than the Rat Queen. She can't remember any of her swarm.
One of them has. I've decided at least one of them has a name now because he farts all the time.
So what's
thought-
he?
His,
Oh.
name,
Instead of sweet, he's cutting the cheese.
his name is Ratulence.
Right, you
We'll
look.
call him
Call them
Morg.
Lucas.
Putrid rat.
Morgs.
I thought the rats were like dinner 1 through emergency ration 1 through 83.
Oh,
She's
Yeah.
not. She's not. She's not Varsh.
I must admit, I'm curious how this
different
party's
character.
gonna go when we meet the other party, and it's like Varsh would be like, "Ooh, dinner."
Oh.
it wouldn't be dinner.
You have
That'd
to
be,
eat
that'd
at
be,
least
that'd be like
10 nuts for it to be dinner.
I was gonna say that'd be like popcorn chicken, surely.
Next one
Rats are
along.
like
In the-
200 calories. Come on.
Yes. Next one along is Ulvra, the human paladin who you've been traveling with. Heavily armored with a massive shield and a massive sword. Well, I guess gladius technically, but whatever. She
Concentrating
is
for
a... No, not at all, actually. She is a follower of the religion of sufferance. And does go on a little bit about it. Not to overly extent, but more so than everybody else probably would want to hear. She is also accompanied by her warhorse, Thymia, and her retainer, Treva, who is a small teenager who seems to be somewhat good with weapons, but also is still very much in training.
And is there to help Ulrich get her armor up.
Yes, basically, yeah. Again, and other things, but that is a lot of the stuff that she is doing. Yes.
Cool. That would the last one in the list.
Rana McGillicuddy is a slightly taller than average young human male who wears obviously some robes. He also is a druid, but has a slightly distracted air about him a lot of the time, and there's something not quite right with how he moves. He doesn't seem at home fully in his own body. He pauses just a little bit longer than you'd expect, and often seems to be hearing things or listening for something that you cannot quite hear.
Cool. Alright. I will shift you guys to the last map where you were. And I will place upon that map, magically appearing as if from out of the air, Granum. I won't chuck your animals on just yet.
And he also has some animal components.
What animals have you got?
I believe a pair of boars and a bear. Is that
No,
right?
you have
No?
a... Right, I'll chuck your animals on then. You actually have a giant boar.
Yep.
That is a big boar.
Dang.
Two normal boars. It's almost like a razorback. It's enormous. It's the size of a small draft horse. Big boar with tusks like the size of spears. And you have a couple of little owls. They actually need to be smaller. I haven't done the full thing for the owls yet. Oops. It would help if I used the right keyboard.
They're probably any smaller, you'd lose them. So,
Yep.
We've lost him.
Anyway.
And we have Sleep, Grinder, Nasha, Thena, and Mitt.
As soon as you said grinder, I thought we were going to have Tinder as well.
I even make it a pretty obvious reference, and still.
No bull's chance in hell.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the fight has been won and done. The orcs did retreat.
The ones that were left, anyway.
Yep. Look, they have escaped.
Did we kill the spiders, or are they still swarming around the edges there?
They're still moving around. No one. I mean, you guys can go and try and fight the spiders if you want. It's up to
No,
you.
I'm good. Is there anything good on these corpses?
Hang on, let me. If you wish to go and investigate them, you can.
That's why I'm standing next to them.
Oh, I'm looting the shit out of them.
That's
Ew.
unhygienic.
Ew.
Terribly
I'll put on my glove
unhygienic.
first.
I thought you liked shiny things. That is. That
Get
is.
You know, you never know what they've eaten.
This is true. Okay. So, the armor and bits and pieces you find on them is generally pretty crap and terrible condition. As orcs are wont to do, they just kind of put hodgepodge stuff together. Their weapons are large and ungainly, at least in your hands. It looks like some of the ones that are the spear-like weapons that these guys. Let me put myself on the right layer. That these guys had are a little bit front heavy. They don't seem to. They're kind of a cross between a spear and a halberd or a polearm.
What about the massively awesome +5 throwing sticks they thrown at me?
They are what appear to be throwing sticks. Who that might have, maybe maybe the orcs themselves had a racial grudge or a species grudge against dwarves.
Yeah, maybe.
You may have been their favourite enemy. The only weapon of any kind of real decent nature you seem to find is on this guy here.
Not the big guy?
The big guy has some kind of very ungainly weapons. He has one which is about 5 feet long, at least by the blade, and it is really ungainly, awkward, front heavy. It's kind of like a cross between an axe and a sword. Very, very thick blade, not conducive really to cutting, but more along the lines of it would bludgeon and cut at the same time. These weapons that they have, which aren't collected from other people and stolen, seem to be beaten together by an insane blacksmith and designed for orc anatomy.
Fair enough.
Does this guy happen?
And the interesting weapon that this guy at the top had?
It's a great axe.
Mm.
Oh yes, the other guy up there has a great axe as well. These guys here have some bows.
I'll pick up the great axe. Why not?
So the bows are short and very heavy, and they have very thick, heavy arrows as well. Doesn't look like it would be a particularly good ranged weapon. It's more like a point blank weapon. Geez, that image is loading like dial-up days. Oh my god, my net must be going 1 million millimeters an hour. Not even that. It's going so slow. It's ridiculous.
Are you
Jesus.
there, Grail?
Hello.
Grail, are you there? Hello?
Yes, good joke. But it's only just now loaded. So yes, anyway, that's really all they have. However, those of you that are searching can each roll a d8 for me, please.
You find a hand grenade.
Somehow Sean has appeared.
Oh,
Sorry. Do you want me to re-roll it?
No, it's fine.
Hey, I have
Oh, nice.
And a strange Vexian has also appeared.
I'm copying everyone else. They're looking for stuff. Might as well.
That's cool. You can
No,
change.
down.
Pick up that blunt.
You can change who you roll as.
Hey, that's mine.
If you have a look down next to the setting button,
If you have a look at where it says as, you can change the character that you roll as or you post as. At the moment, you're doing it as the player.
As
Which used
don't-
to be one of the
see.
options.
You don't have to change, but it just might also assist people getting used to who is whom. Jingles, are you actually searching bodies or are you taking a long, sweet drag?
One sweet drag and then back to work, you know.
Okay. Well then, I'm going to have to take all these cards off people, by the way, the cards that you have. Because if I was to deal... Actually, this is what you've... That's yours. Jingles.
I see it over. Is that the trinket you just chucked on the corner?
Yep.
Alright. Thank you very much. Take up.
That gift was for you, Grail, mostly.
I should go and have a look at it then.
Ooh.
Who the hell is riding the pig?
Oh, no, I was just sending the Puff the Magic Dragon. That was Oz sending the pig things.
Yeah, I know. I saw you send Puff the Magic Dragon. Anyway. Yes, you found that amongst the body. Someone was carrying it. Oh, was it? I should have had a look first. Oh man, my internet is so slow. It's not even showing me the card. Is everyone still there?
Yep,
Yeah.
still here.
We can,
Nope.
we can still hear you fine.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's been sent before. It'll be sent again. It's always good.
Okay, I can read what it is. So yes, you found that, which is probably pretty appropriate for you, Jingles.
hmm
One of them had it tucked into a belt. Otherwise, you don't find anything of interest among their bodies.
Fair enough.
We were about 2/3 of the way through the night as well when this occurred.
Yeah. So and sleeping has been interrupted for almost everybody.
It has been.
So the fact I hadn't picked spells is fine.
Yes,
I haven't picked spells either. It's all good.
that's not true.
And yet,
You picked spell fist.
yeah.
Mm.
Don't you have a frying pan?
And you just got an extra one. You got another one called Axe.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. Weren't we searching the bodies, doing cavity searches or something?
You
That's
just
what we
did.
just did. We didn't find
Mm.
anything
I know.
of value.
But you were just saying I've got a new one called Cast Fist.
No, cast Axe. Axe.
That was-
Anyway, who's going to heal me?
Sean will.
Fair enough.
Good
Do
luck
we
with
do
that.
we have any healers? I don't know.
Yeah.
I got cure light wounds.
Yes.
Let me have a look how many I have.
We have a paladin, we have druids, and we have a illusionist.
Just because
I
you're a druid doesn't
have-
mean you can heal.
4 cure light
He's not
wounds.
If you're good, then
The illusionist makes you think you've been healed. Yeah, all good.
Who wanted
Remember
heals?
to remove a level of fatigue when you get healed.
Yes.
What has Jingles been smoking?
it's mainly just basically. I think it was really only, apart from some things, it was only Tiny Tim who really got damaged.
And someone's bear.
And my bear.
the bear
Yeah,
got
well,
the bear got
Cat.
absolutely shonked.
that's why I specified summoned.
I can't even say.
He's not summoned. He's a real animal.
Yeah, they're real animals.
He was barely injured.
He's like
Get out.
yeah.
Well, technically, I guess they are summoned in the term that you would summon something to your.
When you call it over
Yes.
to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, you, come over here. All right.
Now stand in front of that axe.
Correct. They're not conjured, I guess I should say.
Yes. This is true. They are animal
They're not
companions.
created by Green Lantern's ring.
Can you imagine that? That'd be pretty awesome.
Does the bear want heals?
Yes, I
Got
would like my
plenty.
spell to be replaced by
Oh, I don't
Green
have
Lantern's
a.
ring. That would be
I don't have a
awesome.
macro for it.
Yeah, mine's not a nice macro either, but I'll just do the one.
It's a D4 or D6.
Cure light
D6.
wounds is D6 plus 1.
Oh hell yeah! I don't know if this is right.
That'll work. Hey,
Nice.
It's for the bear.
that is for the bear
Oh.
as well. You get
Still
7
the hit
health.
points.
So hang on, who healed
Okay.
who?
That's enough healing for my bear. Thank you very much.
Oh,
So that was all for the bear.
He
Yep.
feels
Yeah. I'm a
reasonable.
druid. I like animals.
I'm high. I don't really mind. I'll heal you as well. Here, have another one.
He, sa-
Yeah, I'll give.
he says he likes tea, but they're not tea leaves.
Nice.
Oh,
How many hit
I-
points are you down, Tiny Tim?
that was for Tiny Tim, by the way. That second roll.
What am I? Half health? So a lot?
Alright, have that then.
Yeah, pretty
Another
much.
8.
Bit under half health, so like nearly 27 hit points or something.
That will have also removed all your levels of fatigue.
So hang on, what do I get? I've got
3 and
No.
5.
only two levels of my 3 fatigue.
You got the.
Can give you
Five
another
at the
one.
start,
You got the first one though as well.
What was that first one? Mine as well. I thought they were both
Yes.
for the bear.
No, so the first
No,
one was yours 4, and the 5 and the 7 for the bed, and the 3 and the 5 for you. So
I will
you've
be
been
back
healed
shortly. I just have to get myself
12
padded
in
off.
total.
Which 4 are
3
you talking
individual
about?
times. The one when
Sean,
Tiny
Oh.
Tim,
Sean healed Tiny Tim
yeah.
from the dungeon that's the other side of the
Yeah.
site.
Okay.
I was being humorous
see.
because we joked about it. Remember?
Right. Well,
I
no
thought
one,
that
no
was
one.
what the gnome was doing.
Yeah, no
That's
one got it. So that's sorry.
I'll be back shortly, guys. I'll just go get
This
myself some
is
padded off.
entirely your fault for doing that because the people would have healed
Yeah.
you first.
Everyone hear that?
But we figured someone
Yes,
would
I
have
did.
healed you, so
Cool.
you were
I
going to
heard.
go for the bear.
All right, so I'll be back soon.
I heard you.
It's all good. Don't worry. I'm not upset.
Heal Tiny Tim one more time if you have the spell.
Ola can do it.
Yeah, I'll do it. I got plenty. Oh well,
we
that's
don't have any spells tomorrow because no one's getting any rest tonight. Not proper rest.
Yeah, but
Well, I'll still have
now at
spare.
least one person will get rest because now, in addition to the hit points back, they'll be not fatigued.
Yeah, that's
well,
kind of handy.
I don't think we can stay here though. Like we can't stay around a bunch of bodies. I guess they won't smell for like a day, but still.
we should
Yeah,
probably wait until I don't want to walk anywhere in the middle of the night.
So, just curious, we've got, 3 boars, a bunch of rats, a big-ass bear.
Mhm.
Do you really think we're going to have any corpses in the morning?
I
And
mean-
a bunch of foxes as well.
A bear's
mean-
not going to eat like more than one of the small orcs.
Pigs. I mean, the boars. Well,
Look
it
at the
depends
size of this guy. He'll eat, like, 4 of him himself.
Mountain.
Has anyone seen that Guy Ritchie movie Snatch?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I'm
that
really
might
worried
be
about-
a
Probably
Yeah, a
pretty
couple.
good, yeah.
I am really worried about the druid who owns these guys.
as opposed to Raccoon over there.
I was gonna say I'm a bit more worried about the rats, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but rats aren't, like, those 3 boars looks like just like a corpse disposal unit on wheels.
And this is
Legs.
a problem. I mean, that
Henry,
sounds like an advantage for a bunch of motorhomers like us.
we're not murder homos.
We're not
this
murder
is the
homos.
lighter and
Oh.
softer party.
yeah.
Also, have you never tasted a dire truffle? How do you think you find them? You need a pig that big.
I was just
Would
thinking
they-
how convenient would have been this guy when we when you guys talked to the Elven Prince.
We don't talk about that, man.
Oh dear.
First rule of Elven Prince Club: we don't talk about Elven Prince Club.
Anyway, we should probably actually like gather up the corpses and put them somewhere a bit further away from where we are. That sounds like actually like a reasonable idea.
Heads on pikes.
I
If
mean,
we had
not
pikes.
yeah. I was gonna say we're a bit lacking in that behalf, but
I mean, you say that, but then Julian will just give us fatigue points, and we won't be able to sleep again. So
most people have already. I mean,
I am back.
a lot of people are fatigued. Like that's what's going to be an issue no matter what.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to get rid of that much fatigue without some more resting. And since we're probably going to get much more rest, we also the orcs know our positions. They may come back.
Well, did any of them escape? Didn't we kill everything?
Yes, some of the little guys escaped. These,
Oh.
which is less important because they're not.
Yeah, but still means we need to move.
I think in the morning, yeah.
You just want to stay here. Take
I
all
wanna-
comers.
I want to lie down and get some what rest I can.
I mean, we could move away a bit and
Yeah, but this is some of the. Aura doesn't want to walk around in the dark, hoping to find somewhere suitable to stay the night. It's a bit like we
do have
already.
shelter here.
Yeah, we
Your
already have a
choices-
shelter here. We've already reinforced like these, like there's already still like reinforced with rocks and stuff.
I'm
Like-
just concerned about you sleeping in the wet patches.
There's plenty, there's
where the
plenty of
fires
room around here. Yeah.
You got to kill like thousands of people before it starts. Like, come on, this is sand, right?
Yeah.
Good luck.
It is sandy, rocky dirt, yes.
Challenge not accepted.
Nothing was killed over here, so we're all good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was all piled up around the entrance here.
Well,
The choke
I'm-
point that we set up and the walls where they started to climb over.
Alright, it's fine. It's very cold at night. I'm sure the
Well-
bodies won't spoil for days yet.
I was going to say, you can just cut one open and crawl inside if you're cold.
God.
No, I
big
got
ones.
Oh,
Maybe the big
come
one.
on, that loses their body heat so quickly.
Yeah, just
Oh,
dive into the rat swarm.
yeah. See, now that makes sense. Cuddle
No,
with
they're
the
my
bear.
pillow. My
Cuddle with Barrett. He's
walking
very
blanket.
friendly.
Aaron, are you happier if they're woven into some kind of igloo then? Does that help with the heat retention more, or...?
I mean, it would, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Okay,
let's tidy up the battlefield a little bit and then attempt to get what sleep we can until the morning.
Agree.
you-
How many spears
Yep.
were there? All these guys had spears? 4
They-
spears,
Yeah,
5 spears, 5 spears.
The moment you talked about tidying up, I'm picturing you guys looting it Marie Kondo style. This corpse does not spark joy. This iron helmet does spark joy.
Oh, when you said tidying up, I immediately thought, well, they gave us 5 spears and there's a bunch of heads here. So, time to get displaying our trophies.
you can take
What
them and
happened
over out
to
of the
the
party.
lighter and softer party? What happened to the lighter and softer party?
as a dwarf, I'm totally okay with this plan.
I mean, if you guys want to like waste sleep
No.
like hours of the night doing that, go for it. But
No, Mace is just going to go back to bed.
Yeah,
if
I'm
we're not
gonna
moving-
cuddle.
He's like, whatever.
Okay. Whose watch was that after all that?
that was in the middle. I think that was in the middle watch. I believe, Grail. Yeah.
I believe so. Let me just bring up the
So
party
it
watch.
was the dwarves, Tim and Brel.
Yep.
Were the ones on watch along with.
And it was towards the end of their
Yeah.
the end of their watch.
Oberon and Crackle were there as well.
That one's for you, Vash. It's an oldie but a goodie.
Mm-hmm. I love the 240p potato playback quality.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I guess actually, as much as Aura's been saying, she will start watching because it's technically up to her time now. Along with Val.
Cool.
Yay!
Does that mean since the attack happened on Tiny's watch that he doesn't actually have interrupted sleep as such?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has interrupted sleep.
Yeah.
The middle watch always has interrupted sleep.
You all have interrupted sleep because you have engaged in physical activity during the night,
hmm
rather than just sitting around on your ass twiddling your thumb and getting rest. Whereas you're not getting when you're not getting sleep. But it's all good. You all get
Yeah.
the morning will come, and you've all had interrupted sleep. So therefore,
What does that actually mean? Because that's probably important for us to know.
you get half. So normally you get 10% round up. You get half of that.
Rounded up?
Nope, rounded down. It is possible to get 0 HP from interrupted rest.
But half got rounded down.
So you basically take your 10 or 10%, round it up, whatever that is,
Mhm.
and then halve that and round down.
Oh. Oh, me good either way. Nice.
What's that? That's
One whole hit point.
6 hit points.
2 hit points. Nice.
So +3.
Do my rats, just multiply during the night?
Not that fast.
Oh.
All of you can make a con check as well, please.
Is that we click on our guy and go to the...
So if you want.
I made
I did not.
it. Mm.
Ability check.
Do we just have to roll under our con?
Equal to or under on a d20, yes. If you fail, you gain 1 fatigue from a disturbed sleep.
Tired.
Oh, I rolled a 1.
Nice.
Let's get to it, boys!
Yeah, you got really good rest.
We are!
You like getting bloody during the night.
Oh yeah, this is like just, keeps you warm.
He wakes up and after he's having the fight, he stretches. Yeah, better than sex. Gets out his cigar.
I mean, when you were talking about cardio and interrupted sleep during the night,
Yeah.
Cool. So that is just to see if anyone got fatigue from the interrupted sleep. The spiders won't bug you other than being disconcerting, as
Wait,
long as
we're rolling. Oh, sorry, over or under?
equal to or under.
Okay.
so I got fatigued.
As long as no one goes near where the spiders are, then they won't bug you. And as the first rays of sun descend upon you all, they will scurry back inside the rocks and down into the ground.
Do we lose fatigue, or do you have to have a proper night's sleep for that?
You need a proper night's sleep or
Yep.
any form of magical healing.
Yep, cool. That's all good.
Which we would have if we had a proper night's sleep.
Mhm.
All right.
Spells.
So what's the plan? Are we going to escort these guys back to...
Yes,
Dingo, that's our plan?
that is the plan. We
Unless
need
we
to.
wanted to find what's left of their comrades.
I feel like
we're living out first.
Yeah, I was going to say after the attack of the night, let's just get out of here while we can, because
Yeah, I was down at half hit points.
Fair enough. Well, it's probably going to take about 2 days to get back here because I think, according to my notes, we took about a day and a half to find them.
Okay.
I had about a day from Kel's Rise, but
Need to be con, not strength. I can't even do it properly myself.
expect us to do it properly.
I know, right? Oh,
oh
Nah,
no,
it's
oh no.
I guess I'm carrying that guy out.
Oof.
hungry. Oh, does he not have a attribute? He does. I just needed to load the character sheet first. Let's try that again. It's funny how the character sheet has to be loaded before the attributes are able to be read. He's okay.
I'm sure someone technical out there would know why that's the case.
It shouldn't be.
Memory instantiated, something.
Ah, he failed as well.
God, we've got to carry all of them out?
It's just the ones in heavier armor that are having the problem.
Yep.
We'll see how the archer goes, but
Was there a penalty for
Fatigue's
having
not
armor?
terrible.
yeah.
Well, fatigue's not the end of the world.
No, 4 fatigue is not the end of the world. It just means that they have -1 on all saving throws and -1 on ability checks.
Yep.
And
So they suck even more than they did
and
before.
natural healing is halved. So yes, if anyone had any fatigue when you tried to heal overnight, your natural healing was
All the
halved.
people who had fatigue were on
So
full HP.
Brel, they were all on full. Cool.
On top of the already halved.
Yep.
Yes, no, a quarter.
Okay, cool. So that means that's fine. Olga regained 1 HP, the max she could regain. The one that's all that she lost, so it's all good.
Oh,
Awesome.
I thought your bar was full. Interesting.
It was one. I stubbed my toe while fighting.
Okay.
She got hit by a groaner and had to then go and use the Medicaid. Okay, and morning will dawn, as I mentioned. You did not get any further interruptions during the night. The spiders
Good.
scurried away. The orcs lie on the ground or on the wall where they fell and then got looted.
Cool. Let's move on.
The militia and the garrison members are pretty keen to get back to Kel's Rise.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go!
Yep.
Absolutely. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
Way to the front.
Yep. It will take you about a day's travel to get back, but you will. Actually, it'll probably take you a bit longer than a day, maybe about a day and a half. But yeah, you'll get back. And over the next couple of days, all your fatigue will go. So it's all good. Let me put
Hooray!
We fully healed then?
if you want to be.
Oh, well, I'm assuming we're back at camp for a couple of days.
That's why I need to remove these guys, don't I? These imposters. Dunk. Let me put these guys on here. And we also need to put on
all the animals.
yeah, unfortunately it's going to need to be there because people will need to do things, I guess.
I mean, probably not
Yeah, we'll see.
the animals.
What are the odds of, if that's the case, everyone choosing to play a druid
You
for the
gotta,
next batch of characters?
well,
Very low.
you gotta get the prereqs for them. They're not necessarily easy. All right, I won't put the animals on. Boom.
Yeah.
My ammunition disappeared. Oh well.
What?
Oh, and the ammunition counter on my character's gone.
Did it?
Yeah.
Let me go back.
Doesn't matter.
Let me go back to the other.
It doesn't even if I type something into it, it doesn't come. Oh, there it is. It comes
Okay,
back.
so why is that gone? Let me have a look.
It's all good. I
Your
can remember how much
Your
I had.
ammunition.
It's 18.
Well, the attribute is empty. You haven't added it to the attribute on your character sheet. That's why, because you created. Okay, you just put a number in the bar.
Mm. It's in the. I got to get it when I attribute there, do I?
Yes.
So which one is it? Which one's the blue one?
You don't know. You don't need to. If you just go into your character sheet
Mm.
and you have a look at your attributes. You have up the very top. Do you see it? Ammunition.
Oh yeah.
Current
There
and
it is.
max. If you fill that out, then it will be attached to your token.
Okay.
Let me just delete that token and
Oh.
put a new one on there, and it should. Assuming that I set your your token up properly. I didn't set your token up. Why? Did I not think you had a ranged weapon? Let me just go and...
Oh no, it's come up there now.
Yeah, because I just went and put that on there. If I then go edit, you select a token, save changes, delete, and put you back. There you go. All good. So yes,
Right.
you are at Kel's Rise, which, as mentioned previously, is a small ramshackle, more of a fortification than a town. There is a small kind of little shanty town built up around it, which is really just services and the like for the garrison and the militia here, who have been fighting off incursions from the mountains, primarily of lizardmen, but recently of orcs. Sergeant Caleb Gamlin seems to be the guy who is in charge of the camp, in charge of the military forces here, and everyone seems to defer to him. He is an older man who has quite clearly seen some shit. He is quite grateful upon your return that you have brought back some of his men. And he will hobble out to you because he is limping as he was last time you saw him, and will be very appreciative. You have returned. Thank you very much. And you brought some of the men back. To tell you the truth, I was a bit concerned. They had been out there for some time. And he starts motioning for them to get some rest, food, and any kind of medical treatment that they can possibly get. Please. He does seem a bit disconcerted by the number of wild animals and the massive horde of rats milling about Val's feet. But he's known you all now for a couple of weeks at least, and he knows your peculiarities. Please come. I have other things I would wish to talk to you about, but first, I have something for you. And he will motion you to go to the larger of the buildings here where he has his office set up. Just none of the animals, if you don't mind. Well, maybe some of us.
So, even my little cute ones, they've been trained to be cute. They normally ride around on all the animals' heads, which includes me. So there's an ice box on each animal's head and Maze's head.
Are they trained to be indoors?
Yes. Sorry?
Are they trained for indoors? You know what I mean.
I think the ice fox. Well, I mean, cute's gotta mean don't like. I guess I called it play. They're meant to be like cute and adorable. They were meant to help me with like swaying people to my side.
He's asking you, are they trained for inside?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Are they going to shit in his floor?
I mean, the foxes won't shit indoors.
Fine.
Why do you need your foxes inside?
That's fine. I can leave them out here.
No,
They
no,
can guard
then-
our pets. Stay.
The better question is, are they going to be offended when they see their brothers pinned to the wall?
I'll just tell them to watch. And they can play lookout for the other two.
Okay. He will motion you to go inside then. So there's Sergeant Caleb Gamlin again. The building that he leads you into, which you have been in previously, it is a largish building. It may have once been the house of an important person back when there was an actual town here, but it has now been turned into like a garrison outpost, and there is a number of armed men inside, and there are weapons on the walls and weapon racks, and he has a large heavy oak desk, and there's some ledgers and paperwork and some scrolls and ink upon it, and he will motion you over towards it, and you'll see that there is also what appears to be a fairly dusty looking bottle on it, and some glasses, and he will pop a cork and start pouring out a small shot into each glass. Please, have one. It's the least I can do.
Mind if I do?
Much obliged.
Not for me, thank you.
Tim quaffs it down and then takes the second one. If anyone who didn't want to have theirs, he'll take theirs as well.
You can
Mine.
take mine.
Oh.
I'm not really a drinker.
It is a strong but smooth whiskey.
Nice.
Bill's okay with this.
Older will ask, like, what's the word for like the type? I'm sure there's a fancy word for it.
Peaty or smoky or
No, like what's kind of like the name
Yeah,
or the brand?
To tell you the truth, he says, I don't know. And you notice that it doesn't actually have any kind of label or mark upon it. It's just a very old-looking bottle. This was found in the mountains about a month ago. There was a small cache of things, and a few of these among those things, and I liberated this one for such an occasion as this, I am very grateful that you returned my men to me. They mean a lot, and losing any of them, it's like a dagger. So, I thought, you have performed an act of bravery, and I owe you. So I thought I would uncork it, and we could have a drink to your health and your fortunes. Also, speaking of fortunes, I know that you are more than just an assistance here in keeping the place safe. You have wants and needs. I've known a few adventurers over the times, some more greedy and mercenary than others, and others noble, such as yourselves. But one thing that you all have in common is you like a little bit of coin. And unfortunately, I can't provide that to you. My funds are low and are geared towards the defense of Kel's Rise and ergo the valley beyond. What I can do is provide you with information.
Yes.
Well, that went in a better direction than I was expecting.
Yeah. Usually more valuable than gold. Let's go.
So the information will lead you, hopefully, to treasures or things of some kind of value that you may put good stock in. But at the same time, I'll be honest, it will benefit me as well. It benefits me because if you do follow up on this lead, you'll head back into the mountains, and you are formidable as a group. There is no denying that. It will probably lead you into danger, taking some of the pressure off Kel's Rise and my men, myself included. But I believe that the benefits that you may gain there far outweigh any danger you'll face. You then unfurl a map and weigh it down with some of the empty glasses at each of the corners. My men found, as I mentioned, a cache of goods, long forgotten in perhaps a smuggler's hold or something within one of the mountains. Now, I'm not too certain of the layout of the mountains. My leg keeps me from going in there, and my role here is organising and leading the men, not leading them into battle, unfortunately. Those days are long past. But one of them may be able to lead you back. Now, the smuggler's hold is, at your point, about 4 days, I believe. And he will be pointing to somewhere up around here.
Hang on. Sergeant's in the way. Whereabouts? Up there, okay.
Yep, somewhere up around there.
Isn't that where that dragon thing was?
What dragon thing?
It was. It was again. That was where we encountered the worm like ages ago. So
Who's we?
yeah.
What are we talking about?
Meta.
You're having delusions.
Out of body
I'm
experience.
having flashbacks of of a previous life
Side flashes.
Yeah.
that I'm still living.
About 4 days' travel in that direction. Now, my men mentioned that there were other possible places up there. Ruins, long forgotten, at least by civilized men. But it was swarming, or swarming is the wrong word. It was in an area where lizard men were. Now, the lizard men have been making incursions down into the valley for some time, but their numbers have been growing and their attacks have been increasing. So, I'm hopeful that you can go up there, do what you do, find your treasures, find whatever valuables you think are going to be of worth to you, but also take some heat off Kel's Rise. I'm happy to send one of my men who was instrumental in locating that place to start with, and he can lead you up there. He's a good young guide. You do not have to go. Obviously, this is just information for you. It's up to you what you do with it. I make no demands upon you.
This sounds like a noble cause. If we can take some pressure off here and let yourselves get a bit more organized, that sounds like a worthy undertaking.
Sure.
Does sound heroic. I don't know
Tell me
about
more about this loot.
Bless.
As Brel subconsciously, he feels his ring finger.
The loot, he will address Tiny Tim, my good dwarf, there were many things there. There were coin, there were weapons, there were mail shirts, the likes of which you don't see nowadays. Things such as, and you'll point towards the bottle, goods, jewelry, carvings. As I mentioned, it was a smuggler's den, we believe. It was crammed with all manner of goods. Had been untouched for years, maybe decades.
I'm in. He'll reach
Yep.
over.
And
Pour
as I
himself another glass.
Help yourself. He'll push the bottle towards you. As I mentioned, there were others. The one that we did come across, or my men came across, was mostly looted. Well, looted is not the right word. They acquisitioned the goods within, and they went back to Summerton and were then made use of for military purposes, fundings, etc. But there were others up there. At least that is what the belief is.
Well, I'm going to go looking.
Piqued my interest.
One thing that I will mention, you are going into, as I previously said, lizardman territory. But there has been, I believe, rumours of other creatures up and around there. You are a large group. You are quite welcome to acquisition any of the equipment, mundane equipment that we have, that we can spare within the camp here. Make sure you get yourself up there safely and come back safely if that is what you want to do. If you do return in this direction, I'm only too happy to greet you with open arms once more. If you come back here at any stage and Kel's Rise still stands, that is.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Excellent.
provision up and get on the road.
I guess I'll. What do the druids have a say? You've been quiet here.
I would love to have a rest before we set off as well.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to get out now.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
have we'll get a proper
Did
sleep
say-
and then head out.
Well, we might have
Gilles
to
will
stay a
ask,
couple of
That's
days.
Is there a path for a cart to be taken up to the site?
Very unlikely.
There are some old roads within the mountains, but they mostly go nowhere, says Sergeant. They have either been long since put into disrepair from hundreds of years of disuse. There have been landslides, there have been changes in the formation of the land up there. The lizardmen have barred some or whatever. Could you get a cart up there? Perhaps. Would it take you a lot longer? Yes. And it is quite likely also that you might end up having to leave it at some stage.
I say we
Um,
go and find it first.
I said we get a donkey or two.
True.
I've heard wild legends of donkeys and adventuring.
I mean, how much can the pack frame on Barrington carry?
I'd say an encumbrance
okay.
of 6.
All right. I mean, 6 is not bad. But,
We can give all the little rats little backpacks. One ring.
So when you've got an encumbrance rating on a weapon or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming if you're just sticking it on the back of like in a backpack or a pack mule or something, it's not necessarily the same as if you're wearing it to draw and wield.
They are large, not just heavy. That's where the encumbrance come from. It's not just weight. It's size as well.
Yeah, I get that. But if you're just tying it to a saddle or something,
Sure.
like obviously a spear is going to be a problem. But if you've got like 5 daggers, it's not going to be the same as, having 5 daggers on your hip.
Sure. I'd probably allow for some kind of reduction.
Yep. In a logical sort of fashion.
Yes.
No, that's cool. Is there somewhere in here where it's Kel's Rise where I can sell stuff and buy provisions, I'm assuming?
You can get provisions because you can take things. As he said, you could acquisition stuff, but selling things, there is no one here really who will purchase it unless you can convince someone who has very little money to part with it. If you wish to get provisions, if you wish to get ammunition, if you wish to get basic mundane equipment, then there is a good chance you will be able to acquisition it from the quartermaster.
Okay, I'm going to go and talk to the quartermaster.
Yeah.
Quartermaster.
We should probably get some more rations.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I already started with a lot, but no reason not to have even more.
Yep.
Sure.
Well, we get. I think donkey or two is a good idea. What does everyone else think?
I think so, unless we can get the animals, the druid animals, to
I don't
lug a couple
love-
items.
Yeah.
like.
They're not necessarily combat capable. It's a bit hard for them to shrug off a saddlebag.
Yeah,
I love the idea of
likewise.
forcing animals into combat.
Yeah,
I like asking them if they want to journey with you,
agreed.
then forming some kind of pact with them that you're going to be bros or foes.
I guess just checking Grail.
Yep.
I was just say like the a warhorse probably isn't really built for carrying things, but more so is that it'll be much more a
Correct. In fact,
yeah.
warhorses are steeds that you generally do not ride except when you are engaging in battle.
Yep.
You lead them because you do not want them to become lame or tired. They are not a beast of burden.
Yep, absolutely.
In fact, you would normally have a riding horse and a warhorse.
Yep.
If you wish to get any beast of burden here, you can get one donkey. They will part with one donkey. They do need the other animals that they have here to do manual labor.
Okay. Does it come with bridling or saddlebags and stuff?
You can get some saddlebags, yep.
I am going to see the quartermaster and trade the great axe that I picked up for a couple of slings.
Sure.
Slings are free, bro.
Yep.
I know. What am I going to do with
the quartermaster?
Sorry? What am I going to do with, like, a great axe? I can't even wield the damn thing.
Okay.
I mean,
And
I can't. I can, but I don't want a filthy orc axe.
I'm going to carry it around for a month of Sundays on the off chance I can sell it somewhere.
It probably was not an orc axe at some stage. The orcs have just, requisitioned it themselves.
Hmm.
I'm going to have 6 slings because they weigh nothing.
But why?
Because he's going to preload all of them.
They're just like rations.
He's using them as banana hammocks.
He's going to load each one with a stone. And so when he comes into battle, they're already loaded. He just grabs it, swing, 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 swing. They'll be like a computer game. They'll be like Salt Spy. He slings one and then drops it on the ground. Slings one, drops it on the ground.
Well, yes, to some extent, you're not far off the money, but I can use the sling whilst combat's coming towards me. I'm a dwarf. I'm slow as an old wet week. So I'll be throwing stones until I get there. Then I can drop the sling, draw my melee weapon, and if the battle moves down the hill or whatever, I don't have to go looking for the damn thing.
You could even pick up a rat, put it in the sling, and sling a rat at them.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
right.
I'll have a word with you about that.
Yeah, it'll be like, further, get him!
There
Cool.
you
So
go,
yes.
Grail. I made a meme for you tonight.
Oh, thank you. I miss them. Well, do you remember that you guys went shopping one day? You went I should say 3 sessions, one game day,
Yep.
and half of that one session was working out the kind of food you're going to buy.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yes, if anyone wants any equipment which is cheapish and mundane, feel free to just add it. If you want anything which is not so cheapish, i.e. more than a couple gold and kind of a little bit sketchily rare, let me know and I'll tell you if they have it.
They have
Otherwise,
war darts.
yes, they have water.
War darts.
Oh, war darts. Plumbatas. Yes, you can get some darts here.
Oh, yeah.
How much is sling ammunition again?
Free!
Yeah, you
Mhm.
Wow.
need to pick up
The
some
good-
stones.
Stones are the
Yee-hoo.
actual lead shot.
I'm gonna add 100.
Can you carry
Okay.
them?
Okay, no, I can't.
They are free for dollar value, but not free for muscle value. Although each of your rats has 1 stone on their back.
Atlas in the world, basically, rat size.
The rats go around and pounding like enemies with the little rocks.
Hear me out, Vex. They do fling the rat with the sling, but each rat is holding a small metal sphere in its mouth and then spits it out as it goes flying by, letting you trick shots from a sling. Don't ask how the rats are landing.
Fortunately, I haven't trained my rats that way.
Oh, that's the other thing, Den. You can pick 3 different tricks that your animals know. So things
Cool.
like attacking is a trick because it's not natural for them to attack on command and to attack certain things. So if you
I was
want them
going
to,
say, what do you mean a boar does not attack?
yeah, so the giant boar, it is
Mhm.
a trick might be don't attack.
Yeah.
The giant boar is a carnivore, not an omnivore.
Yeah.
Well, it is an omnivore, but it prefers meat.
Yeah.
The smaller ones are omnivorous or omnivorous. I was going to say omnivore, but then I started to say something different. They're omnivorous, but they, they are not as likely to attack as the big one. But attacking on command and attacking as you determine is a trick. So
And not attacking is part of that trick on command.
So pick 3 things that you want. So your owls will collectively know 3 tricks. Your small boars will collectively know 3 tricks, and your giant boar will collectively know 3 tricks. And they can be different tricks that you've trained them. As long as they're not anything too crazy, because you don't have animal training as a secondary skill, it's okay.
Do they have any hurl bats?
Yeah, you can get some hellbats.
Cool.
I think I'll be getting some more rations, but that's pretty easy to get, I'd imagine.
Similarly, rations and some quills for my crankbow.
Sure, you can get all that. You can festoon
How
yourself.
many rations?
As many as you want to be able to carry, you can take.
How many do people recommend for this trip?
This is, for the most part, a military outpost. One thing that they do have is good stores, because their line of supply has not been disrupted.
Excellent.
I mean,
Well,
if it's 4 days out
What's
there,
been disrupted is how many men they have.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
If basically if we're estimating 4 days up and 4 days back, then you want more than 8, basically.
Yep.
Because
I'm taking 4 fresh and 8 iron rations.
Remember, Jingles said he
Yeah.
was chubby. Well, actually, chunky is the correct term. And
Yankee, that's right.
what's the encumbrance to ration?
I believe it was 5 for 1. Let me just confirm that.
8 to 1.
You can always put them on the donkey,
think
at
it
least on the
was.
way up.
Yeah.
That's what I had before. Was 8 to 1.
Let me have a look.
Am I
Yeah.
crazy?
Is that in a pack?
Are you dreaming?
Oh, so your pack gives you 4 extra.
4 days of rations is half, so 8 to 1.
It's
You are
half.
correct.
8 to 1. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
cool.
That was good. Okay, good.
I'm getting a 10-foot pole to put on the donkey.
Was the pack give you 4 encumbrance? Is that how it works?
Correct.
Yep.
Yep.
Pack is 4, belt pouch is 1.
Mhm.
How much does like a ham weigh? Do they have hams that we could take?
Sure. You'll be able to find a couple hams. Hams are pretty rare because again the valley doesn't have a lot in the way of livestock. It's a smallish valley. Most of the animals that they do keep here are like chickens, very small, or rabbits. But they'll have maybe 1 or 2 hams, which they had set aside for special occasions, and you can have one.
I'm not picky. Have they killed any orcs recently that I could spend a day salting or smoking?
I'm assuming this is for your animals.
Yeah. I mean, my bear can hunt, but it'd be a lot easier if there was just like, you know.
Yes, he says
Some
with
orc
sideways
flanks.
eyes. My animals.
Yeah. Maze isn't a particularly picky eater either.
Never send your animals to eat a creature you're not willing to eat. Is that right, Pets?
Mm.
They haven't kept any of the bodies of that. They tend to burn them.
Fair
Weird.
enough. There could have been fresh ones.
Absolutely.
Could have been.
Alright. Well,
But you can
that's
have
fine.
if you want a ham, you can have a ham. It may go down
I'll take the ham.
a bit odd with the 3 boars with the party. One of which is quite large.
Hey, pegs don't care.
Was it 6?
Pegs will eat another peg.
Mm-hmm.
Since
Yeah,
you're
other than how do you feed all your animals that come with you? They just let them go in
Me?
the area around, or like
Yeah, I've trained mine to hunt. So,
Yep.
both Oberon and my bear can hunt, so they should bring in enough food.
predators also don't need to eat very often.
yeah.
And you know,
Keep in mind, like a bear like Barrett should be able to bring in enough food for like 3 other bears, because they have to do that sometimes.
yeah. That said, again, there isn't a lot of game in the valley. At least not large game. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they need
but they
food
can.
up, they need
Yeah,
fish.
they can find stuff. Generally,
My 2 smaller pigs are trained to root around for fungi and tubers and such.
you're going to go into the truffle business, aren't you?
100%. What you were unfortunately away when they were concerned about the size of my big pig. I was saying it was for finding dire truffles.
Nice.
You never lived until you tried dire truffle.
The other thing is, I was thinking, since you've got pigs, one of which is definitely carnivorous, I'm surprised you need to be known as Bricktop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come again.
Singles and I may be going into partnership. It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Did neither of you two got produce flame as a spell? Did you?
Who remembers? I'm looking. I have fairy fire. I have pyrotechnics, but no produce flame.
Okay. And you didn't get it, did you, Vex?
No, I don't have it.
Okay.
I am preparing find plant every day to help us.
What 4th level spells did you guys get?
Do you want me to repeat after Cure Serious?
Sure. Did you get any other ones apart from Cure Serious?
Yeah, Dispel.
Oh man, you got good 4th levels. Nice.
Indeed, I do.
They're very nice. Okay.
What did you get, Vex?
Dispel magic and hallucinatory terrain.
Nice.
Nice.
Cool.
Wait.
I have repel vermins, which I am preparing so that I can
Oh,
as the,
Yeah.
Do the
uh,
rats count or?
yeah, absolutely.
Hurts your
Hell
They're
yeah,
sudden
vermin.
yet inevitable betrayal.
exactly. I'm prepared. She's from a different druid circle. I'm just saying.
My standard preparations
Okay,
will
well, it's great.
be
I didn't put you on the same watch together.
a pair of Cure Lights, a pair of Shillelaghs, a Speak with Animals, a Purify Water, Pyrotechnics, Fine Plant, Pre-Shape, and Cure Serious.
Okay. Probably want to learn Cure Serious at some time, but
They have any
Not at the
healing
moment.
potions at the
If only I
Shell
could
Prize?
teach you, as if only I can teach you.
I mean,
Roll,
they're not going to give
you
them to
can
us.
teach me.
They're
roll,
expensive.
roll a reaction check for me, please, Tiny Tim, if you're going to go asking about healing potions.
what's the reaction? That's 2d6, is it?
2d6 and add your charisma reaction modifier. A
Oh.
negative is good, remember.
That reminds me, I'm using my brewer's friend.
And my charisma modifier
Why
is
did reaction
Yeah,
check
don't
not
worry.
work for you?
because I rolled 2d6.
No.
No, that was I didn't mean to click it, but accidentally. I don't know why it didn't work, but
Let's have a look. You may.
-1. So
You have
it is
-1?
4.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a friendly dwarf.
You guys are like rock stars. Because you got 3 druids and a paladin in the party. Charisma through the fucking roof, and then the fighters like got a good charisma. It's like, what the fuck?
look, we're very popular.
I'm the Grufford friendly dwarf.
Well, it's really cool. You guys are like, probably a boy band or something like that. All clean cut and stuff like that. The other party is a satanic black metal band.
Sean
I feel
would,
like we're actually possibly the reverse. Because
Sean would
they need
like to-
charisma, whereas the manufactured boy band is not doing it based
Reaction
on their
check.
own
Why
charisma.
is reaction check not visible for players? Hang on, let me just make sure I don't have more than one reaction.
Sean would like to detest your previous comments, but he cannot.
All right, so
I
you
don't
should be
know.
able to do the reaction check macro now.
The total's pretty friendly. Yeah, let me see reaction check. Yes, I like then it brings up this position. Nice.
I don't know why it had removed
Yeah, there you go.
players.
So that works now.
It worked indeed.
I think that's because it's a new one that I was working on. As you can see,
Cool.
it's a lot different than previous.
Is that reaction check? There it is.
Wow.
Well, yeah,
Well-
do that actually have the one doing it?
Are they friendly towards me or?
Yes, they are reasonably friendly towards you, and he will say, we don't really have any healing potions, at least none that we can give out, but what we do have is we have some tinctures. If you would like some of those, we can let you have a few of those.
They sound amazing.
And he will rustle around at the back, and he will come back, and he will have 3 small little vials, and he will give you some, what are they called again? My brain's not working. I'm trying to remember. I'll have to look it
I'm
up.
not sure that I want brains not working. They don't sound.
He'll give you
That's-
some salubrities. 3 salubrities.
Thank you very much.
You're more than welcome. Look, if you really want a healing potion, I can let you have one, but I can't let you have it for free, unfortunately. If you can donate 30 gold to the fund, I can shift one across to you.
I would give it to you in a flash, but I don't have 30 gold. And I gave away my nice axe earlier.
Which probably was
That's
worth about 3 gold. But anyway,
Yeah,
but oh well.
it's all good.
I only have 2 of them, and they've,
No, they've got to keep them for an emergency. I understand completely. But these are great.
We've got we do have a lot of power in within our party, so
Mm. So how do celebrities work? They heal wounds.
yes, because they are a tincture, you have to see whether you get drunk using them,
Yeah, I get that.
and then you roll a d10, and to determine whether it's successful or not, in the same way as a normal tincture. So on a roll of 5 to 10 it works, on a 2 to 4 it doesn't, and on a roll of 1 it makes things worse. So it's got a 50-50 chance of working, and a 1 in 10 chance of making it worse. If it works, it heals 1d6 minus 2 hit points at the end of the round, so it can actually result in damage being sustained on a 1.
Oh, okay. It says don't roll 2d10. Don't roll d10 to determine if it's successful or not.
Oh, it does say that, doesn't it? Yes.
Just for the celebrity, yeah.
Yes, so you just roll 1d6 minus 2.
Sorry, I didn't see the rules underneath the other table.
Yep, that's cool.
Didn't scroll right down.
So there you go. So it's just roll 1d6 minus 2. Potentially it can...
Yeah, because it's minus 2, so if you roll a 1, you'll take 1 hit point of damage.
Yep.
Harsh, but fair.
Because they've been brewed in unhygienic manners.
Wow.
What are the main ingredients for a celebrity? Sanical, shepherd's purse, dew-covered, newly spun spider web.
Sticky.
And alcohol or some other substance in which it will steep and brew.
Fair enough.
Okay, and you are using your brewer's friend?
Yes.
What are you using it to do?
Well, strangely enough, I have a healing potion, so let's see what happens.
Okay, cool. Let me just check something.
What's the brewer's friend?
Is it, all goes well, it'll duplicate me extra, and duplicate me whatever potion I put in there.
Nice. What is that? Is that like a magic item?
It's like I think it's one of the thing. It's one of the. I'm not sure it's necessarily a trinket, but it's something I got from the maze.
Mm-hmm.
There's a taster's friend in the list.
It's the curio that he got for completing the maze.
Yeah. But they're not listed in anywhere in the thing, are they?
Nope.
They're special items.
Mm-hmm. So yes, you can stay here as long as you want, rest up, etc. Whatever you need to do. Feel free to make your plans or cast them into the ashes.
I think we probably need like a day of rest or so, unless anyone's really badly injured. Like I'm pretty sure we could get Tunnington back up running, like just with what we've got.
Mm-hmm.
Does
Well,
anyone need to spend longer than a day here, or
let's just say we'll stay here till we're fully healed
And unfatigued.
and unfatigued, and then Julian can give us a rough estimate of what that is. I don't think we
well,
need...
it'll be probably like we arrived here today, got to rest.
It'll
that
be a
night,
couple of days.
Spend a day to get ready, have another rest, and then probably go either the day after or the day after that.
Yeah.
So spend 2 days here probably, and then head off again.
2 to 3 days.
I know the shopping opportunities are limited here, but are we sure we only want to do it in less than one session? Let's
try.
give Henry hope.
Look, we could help. We go shopping for some new rats.
Hey, I've done...
That's true.
I mean,
That's true.
looking, shopping.
Re-rat stocking.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to regret searching for that.
Yeah, spend a few days, heal up.
Oh.
I mean, I could write cure light wounds in the book then, but I don't want to. I'm
You'll-
going to chill.
You'll also be introduced to Alyssa, who is a scout, who will take you by
Awesome.
ways that you do not know through the mountains.
Does she sound like a Lena Gingertail?
Do you wish her to?
Don't you?
Yes, I do.
That was a trick question. I'm giving you permission to bring that into your world here.
I will not be able to do the accent, so I will not try.
No. What's her drink of choice?
Rum.
I remember.
So yes, you'll meet Alyssa.
Oh, can I request something for the future?
Go ahead.
Can we have a massive extended underground fight sequence where over time poor Vex has to replace all her rats with naked mole rats?
What is this, blood?
Oh.
Naked mole rats are really small, aren't they?
They can be giant naked mole rats.
I mean, they can be. They just look hideous.
I thought they were also really tiny, though. Well, they're about the
Well.
size of a hand. Okay. I thought they were smaller than that.
Oh, 3 inches.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
7.5 centimeters long is average. Oh,
They are
soldiers
hideous
can
looking.
weigh up to 57 grams, though.
Oh, look
And the
out.
queen can weigh up to 71 grams. Woo!
Look out.
Oh,
Get some heavyweights.
look, it's my Discord server, so I'm going to post an NSFW image in it. Enjoy the most naked mole rat you've ever seen.
Do I want to have a look?
Is it been skinned and
Oh,
eaten?
I didn't find.
It's not loading.
Link the page.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Come on.
by the by,
The
what,
radiographs of it.
Mm-hmm. By the by. Yep.
by the by,
Mhm.
what is it that you wanted to do? Just go wait a day, heal up, and head off?
I think so. Unless there's anything else
I
we
mean-
need to do.
Yeah.
Depends
Unless
how
they have
long.
large caltrops, I might pick up some of those if they do.
Yes.
Oh, and if like we get attacked, obviously I assume will help. But
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So the incursions from the mountains, they don't occur daily. They don't even occur weekly. There can be times where there's none for like a couple weeks, but it's still a fairly steady stream into the valley, especially since the group here at Kel's Rise is basically all that stands on the eastern flank.
Okay.
All right. So, if you only wish to wait a day and heal up, by all means. Alyssa is fairly quiet for the most part. She will say that, oh yes, I travelled with the group that found the cache recently. It was through some pretty dangerous areas. I will not lie. I'm not particularly fond of going back up in that direction, but you have a reputation of being more than adequate and competent, so if I'm going back with anyone, I'm glad it's going back with you. I
What can
normally
you
Bet
tell
you
us
say
about
that
the
to
area?
all the boys.
you all spoke over the top of each other then.
I said, I bet you say that to all the boys.
God,
Yes, exactly.
What can you tell us about the area?
The lads.
It's gets quite intimidating, I guess, the best way to say it. There is some paths which will require considerable work to pass. It's not easy going by any stretch of the imagination, and we have to be careful that we don't attract too much attention. Lizard men and other creatures can attack from on high, where we will have very little recourse if that occurs. Rocks can be thrown down almost with gleeful abandon upon our heads if we're not careful. But other than that, I know some paths. I have travelled these mountains for years before I joined up with the militia, and have quite extensive knowledge of them. I can lead you through most of the dangers, hopefully without them actually becoming dangerous. There are some unfortunate potential dangers that we might come across other than lizard men. There are giants in the mountains. They are normally easy to avoid though because they're loud. I have once, many years ago, seen a worm kind in the mountains. They tend not to come too close to the valley. I don't know what keeps them away, but they are around. They tend to make a hell of a ruckus as well, and can be avoided. But if one of them does determine that it wants to appear, there's little that we can do. I have known of people who have encountered them, and it wasn't pleasant. Very few survive.
How thick's the foliage get up there?
Not much at all.
Okay.
There's a little bit, but for the most part, it is barren. The foliage is sparse. It's wilted or in very poor condition. The ground is too rocky to have much in the way of thick vegetation. Thanks, Dan.
Oh, I'm aware you weren't aware of it, but
Oh,
chef's kiss.
when I said it, I realised.
So bring your own supplies. Make sure you got plenty of that stuff, because it's not going to be possible to, or might not be possible to really scavenge much up there.
There are small game that do make their home in the mountains, but they can be hard to come by. Especially if there is a large group, they won't be around that. So, yes.
It's okay. Oberon's used to hunting up that type of area. He is a mountain lion. Let's go.
And I am grateful for his skills.
Yes, I mean, Alder will thank you and say, we're glad to have you on board. We'll, do our best.
Nice meeting you. Take me to your loot.
Mm-hmm.
I am not much of a combatant, just so you know. If there is fighting, please don't expect me to do much. I will be more inclined to keep my head down and make sure that I keep my head on my shoulders.
Absolutely.
Fair enough.
Rated.
There are occasional, I'll also let you know, strange goings on up in the mountains, but the valley and the surrounds have always been peculiar in the mystic, supernatural kind of things. I have seen more than one undead roaming the mountains, and I have seen more than one aimless spirit. There's been quite a few spirits actually up there recently. For the most part, they don't really do much, but they can be unnerving.
Is anyone actually familiar with undead?
I mean, as a pally, you might be. Otherwise, that's kind of like a cleric's show kind of thing.
Yeah, I was just asking.
Well,
would I?
or just depending on where you come from.
Yeah, as I was
Yeah.
asking. Well, would I have undead as part of my goings on?
The very common undead, absolutely.
Yep, cool.
The not so uncommon undead,
Yeah, no.
Maybe not. Spirits can be awkward, is the best way to describe it. Restless spirits aren't a problem, but active and dangerous spirits, very standard things about them. You would have heard things, you would know things, you would have picked things up just through general osmosis. You are a paladin of not insurmountable level, so bare bones knowledge of them would be something that you would know.
Yep.
You also
Oh,
do
no
have
worries.
you also do have a cleric among your number.
Yes. Jingles.
Hey.
Who, when he sees a spirit, he gets out. He's
Spiritual communicate translator.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Nothing to see here, boys.
I see it all. I should say. Oh.
I'll just kind of mist stuff.
So what you're saying is his illusions are really what he's seeing when he's taking a toke. He just manifests them for everybody else.
Absolutely. It's
The smoke out
hallucinatory.
of the,
And he also drinks
lanterns.
hallucinatory tea.
True.
So, if you wish to rest, feel free. Get your hit points back. If everyone has their kit and caboodle.
Yep, I'm good to go.
Is anyone not taking
Good to go.
anything?
No, I'm taking a few rations.
I took
Fine.
some rations, caltrops, and a bit of extra rope. Oh, and a ham.
Yeah, I grabbed some rations, restocked my sling bullets, grabbed a
Oh.
couple of extra slings, spares.
Mhm.
I'm
Hope
not
it's
taking any
rations,
more
10 foot pole.
rations.
Yep.
I've got
The main thing
Oh.
I was getting at was the paladin and the druids. Are you taking all of your animals and your retainer?
Oh, I'm not going to take my bear. I'll leave Barrett here.
Mhm.
Oh, but he's got my back frame. No, that's
What's
fine.
the
I'll leave Barrett. behind.
again? I was hesitant to bring my warhorse beforehand because it's just really awkward terrain.
It is.
Yeah.
Mountain
I think
seems really
I
rough.
think I might leave them behind or leave her behind again.
To look after.
Just
Are you leaving a squire or are you taking a squire with you?
no. I'll definitely take Treva with me, but
Okay.
I'll leave Thamia, my warhorse, behind.
You
Well,
can leave any animals you wish at Kel's Rise, and they will be looked
Yeah.
after for as long as Kel Rise stands.
Mhm. Well, look, I
not
just to
ominous.
get a just to get a feeling. We're planning on heading back to Kel's Rise after this, right?
Yep.
But
Mhm.
like that is the plan. No one wants to go off into somewhere else randomly.
No one's
No.
ever wanted to do that before, Oz.
yeah. No, I'm aware plans change, but I'm saying like if we is successful, we're gonna
shiny.
head back and then probably do things out of there. No, it's all good. Yeah, as long as that's the plan, then yeah, I'll happily leave my horse behind, Thamia behind.
Cool.
But I will bring along my retainer.
Excellent.
Oh, it'll be some good hiking, you know.
And it's not as though you want to have to dress yourself.
Oh, it'd be more like I have to ask one of you to help me instead.
Well, with these
I guess
old hands, I mean, no, those days are behind me.
And by one of you, it would almost certainly be Val.
Okay, so Barrett the bear is staying behind. The warhorse is Thymir.
Thamia, yeah.
Thymir is staying behind. Are all the pigs going?
Yep.
And all the rats are going.
Yeah.
Okay,
Keep
cool.
each other warm. Who's gonna take care of rats anyway?
Well,
I don't trust
that is
The rats.
the rats
Just
would.
store them. Just store them in the grain cellar.
What could possibly go
I don't
wrong?
want the people here, exterminating any rats while I'm
No.
gone.
I think you'd have to be more concerned about the rats getting too fat.
Well, just play your pipes.
Just as a question, do they have like little boxes that anything comes in?
Like little crates.
Like really little boxes, like tinder boxes or
Matchbox
boxes.
You might be able to get a
or-
couple, but making boxes for that's something so small, they're not going to have many of them. What are you after?
I'm only looking for like hand-sized ones.
But how many?
Just things that I can turn into explosives.
All right, I'll let
like-
you. If you roll, you can have D4. You can scrounge up D4.
Nice. I will get D4 of them. Psh. 3.
Do you
3
want-
bombs.
Do you want my boar grinder to carry your tinders?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Alyssa, then the next day, you won't see Sergeant Caleb Gamlin. He'll be off doing something. There's been he's fairly busy and isn't always hanging around to see what adventurers are doing. If you wanted, by the way, Tiny Tim, you could take the rest of that bottle. There's probably about a third of it left.
Don't mind if I do.
I shall fire trap those in their day off. Bing bing.
Cool. Then Alyssa will head out with you. She's fairly short, lithe, young, maybe about early 20s. Keeps to herself mostly, isn't very talkative, but does seem to be very competent. At least her knowledge of these mountains is quite good. And you wish you had her previously when you were looking for the troops that had gotten lost or mislaid.
Misplaced.
Yep. They got
Now,
lost.
where did I put those troops?
Got lost behind the couch. That's where everything always ends up.
They've got one sock and a whole bunch of Tupperware lids each.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Can I have someone? Let's start with on the right-hand side. Can I please have a Jingles roll a d20 for me?
Right.
Thank you. Cool. All right, so Alyssa will lead you into the mountains, picking a very cautious path, winding through dell and over hilltop to start with, kind of moving around the outskirts more so than leading straight in. That's not what I want. Oh, she's not doing a square. She's kind of leading you up and around this way to start with, picking her way through fairly innocuous terrain. Not very hard going, but you do see the mountains, very jagged peaks off to the right. Many of them are shrouded at their peaks in dark, ominous-looking clouds and haze. And she points to one of the tallest mountains in your vicinity, up around here somewhere, and says, "We're heading up in towards that direction. We will be getting quite high towards the end of it."
Jingles
assume-
like, oh yeah.
Jingle cheers.
I'm high already. I'm already there. I can fly.
That's my secret. I'm always high.
Oh, God.
Vex, can you roll a d20 for me, please? Cool. Towards the end of the day, as you are skirting around, you are picking your way through some of the foothills and over around some of the bases of the smaller mountains. You'll notice that there seems to be some lightning cascading in the mountains, crackling from this foggy haze at the top towards some of the peaks. You will set a camp, I guess, at the end of the day. Is going to be the watchers on
I think we'll probably end up keeping the same watch, won't we?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it was a pretty good
Where's the watch list?
setup.
Party watch.
You no longer have Barrett. You know.
Well, we don't have Barrett. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
well,
But
I
we
don't
do
think
have-
that'll change.
we
Yeah.
do have
Alyssa, and you do have
McGillis.
To put
And
we'll
Giz
put
I
is
was
three.
already on there.
put Alyssa.
yeah.
Yeah, I've added put Alyssa in the second watch. So there's 3 people on each one. I think that's pretty easy.
Okay. I guess all 3 bore on the first watch, are they?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they can just sleep. You know, they are just animals.
Yeah.
I trained mine to watch, so that's why they're on watches.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Well, then Varus is typing. Verb. Okay.
Verb.
Can I have someone on the first watch roll a d10 for me, please?
Pigs have bad eyesight at night anyway.
That would be Maze, Granum, or Jingles.
Jingles?
The first one that's rolled will apply.
D8,
D10.
D10. Going high. Let's go. 5. Oh, I rolled a 1.
It doesn't matter.
That looks like a 5.
I rolled first.
Granum's came up first, so that will apply.
Ooh,
I
that's good.
saved you.
That's good. Good job. Good job,
Mhm.
buddy.
All right, someone on the second watch, Tiny Tim or Brell. Tiny Tim rolls a 6, thank you. And someone on the third watch, Olra or Val, who has headed off, so I guess it is
Yep.
Olra.
D10.
Yes, please. Okay, the watches pass without too much event. There is a light rain that begins to fall on the last watch, meaning that you wake up to a very wet and uncomfortable camp. But otherwise, all right. None of you have an interrupted sleep or one that's too bad. The next day, as you are heading further infield, I guess, you start making a move to now start moving in. I will get Brell to roll a d20 for me, please.
Oh.
Nice.
Indeed, it is nice. Okay. You've only just started moving into the hills, getting more deep into the foothills, getting a fairly good... Did we just lose someone? I saw someone flicker down the bottom. And winding your way deeper and deeper, and starting to climb up the first mountain. And she is back. Welcome back. When you hear off in the distance a cracking sound, as though heavy thunder suddenly blasting above your ears, but it's definitely come from far afield and has echoed down through. Disconcerting, it strikes you all suddenly, shocking most of you. It was just quiet, and then
Boom. I guess everybody will halt, I'd imagine.
You'll notice that Alyssa has taken an instant and sudden defensive mechanism and has hidden herself under the closest thing which will obscure her. It was
I will
almost
follow suit.
like that,
Would that be the donkey?
possibly. It might even be Tiny's shield.
Is that the Arocus?
No, I don't know what that was. It was loud. There is lightning and thunder that does play at the peaks, but nothing ever that loud. Not normally, anyway.
Fun.
The fracas and the rackus, yes.
I guess let's be a little more cautious as we go then.
Shy Halud is getting rude. All right,
No,
and
I got nothing.
the rain will start to fall a little bit heavier not long after, and it starts to actually pelt down with a fair bit of force and stinging any exposed and bare skin. Your animals aren't very pleased about this at all.
I was going to say, do we want to try and find some kind of cover? I mean, obviously it might be difficult, but...
Yeah, I think we should wait out the storm. We're only going to get in
If there's
trouble
any-
if we...
It's not really a storm, it's just heavy rain that's just coming
Yeah.
down, suddenly sweeping down off the mountains.
I would consider, well, okay, storm, heavy rain, same.
Well,
We don't want to be wet in the mountains in the
Sorry,
cold.
remind me where we're
Yeah.
up to at the moment.
You're about
On the
morning
map,
on the,
roughly.
near here.
Okay.
See the blue
Sorry.
or the teal line?
Oh,
end-
if only
end of-
somebody had prepared divine weather and had warned us about this.
Mm. So, is Alyssa able to find us some shelter?
Sure, it'll take a little bit of time, but you can find somewhere. Bit of an overhang. It's got a bit of, because you haven't gotten too far into the mountains yet, there's some trees. They're not great, but they do offer a bit of protection from the rain. There's not belting wind, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, well, we'll just stay out of the rain for a bit, yeah?
Mhm.
Is everyone...
Yeah, I think I think that's fair. And doesn't last too long, but like I imagine it wouldn't. It should blow over somewhat quickly, hopefully.
It
I mean,
lasts
we'll see how
about
we go.
half an hour.
Yeah,
Hang on,
At
how-
least it's still raining after that, but the stinging hard rain only lasts about half an hour.
How long is a round?
A round is 10
It's
seconds.
Ah. Well, I'm going to nevertheless cast a spell when we decide to stop.
Yes,
I'm going to tree shape.
you're going to turn yourself into a tree.
Yep.
Sure.
Sorry,
funniest shit I've ever seen.
That's one level. Yep.
If
Yep.
Shang was here, he could talk to you.
Instead, I'm going to be like, yeah, you know who doesn't care about getting heavy rained on? A tree.
I
Sorry.
could have prepared plus
You-
plant, and then I could have opened you up and stepped inside.
You know what we need, though?
I'm in you now.
We
Who's
need
that young man.
we need a fire, don't we? And you know what burns?
Next time, one of
fireless
you.
oak. Wait, no.
Next time one of you has an obvious erection, I'm casting Warp Wood
Oh, for,
and see how much you like that.
oh, for Christ's sake.
Hey.
This is just taking a
Dive.
repel vermin, please.
Yeah.
I gotta go, guys. Catch ya. I'll see you later.
Alrighty.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
So,
No, that was to the repel vermin. That was.
it's only a
And
small
everyone-
living tree or shrub, by the way, or a large dead tree trunk with a small number of limbs.
Nice.
Everyone
normal
missed it.
number of limbs.
And
Everyone
the limbs,
missed it.
the limbs look like they're giving the bird.
Yep.
Everyone missed what, sorry, Henry?
I think everyone missed the joke because we were hopeful.
Harsh. You can be tree bird.
Cool.
So it only lasts about half an hour. It's still raining afterwards, a fairly light pattering. And Alyssa is only happy to continue from that point on.
Yep, sounds good.
Sounds good.
No sense in hindering ourselves more than needed.
Can I have a d20 roll, please, from Tiny?
You may. As soon as I get round to typing. Oh, look at that. Another storm coming.
Indeed, the rain pretty much disappears about halfway through the day, and the cloud haze that was on the mountaintop seems to draw back a little bit, and you can actually see the peaks now.
Nice.
The rest of the day is just hard going, maneuvering through the hills and the mountains as you move further afield. And this isn't necessarily to scale either. This is just giving it kind of an indication as to the direction you're going. But you are about halfway up a mountain at this point in time. That night, can I have a D10 roll, please, from Jingles?
D10.
Pretty good.
Can I have a D10 roll, please, from Brell?
Oh. Ooh, consistent.
Can I have a D10 roll, please, from Val?
A D10.
Yes, please.
Oh.
It is getting towards the morning. The sun is only just starting to peek over the tops of the mountains. And Val, you feel under your feet the ground rumbling. Your rats seem skittish. They don't seem to be very happy at all. The small ice fox that is with you, Pop, you believe that Maze calls it, suddenly stands up and pricks its ears and then scurries off and hides. The ground really then starts shaking.
That's concerning.
Dang.
It's so heavy at one stage that everybody starts to be roused from their slumber well before they should be. They've probably got another half an hour to an hour before you would normally wake them. The sun is only just starting to peek over the very tallest mountains. And then suddenly it stops.
So was it coming from? Sorry, was it coming from like? Was it something on top of the ground, or coming from like literally under the surface?
Hard to tell. The ground was shaking and rumbling.
Yep.
Alyssa will. She's not on any of the watches.
She's a second watch. I didn't bother putting her on because she's not part of the party, but I can put it on.
No, that's cool. As long as I know she's on the second watch. She'll wake up and she'll just say, "That was a worm kind, and it was close."
How screwed are we?
We should
Awesome.
hopefully be okay. It's either gone deep or it has stopped moving because it's going to sleep. Not that I think that they do sleep. Or it's just who knows what. But
How do they hunt us? Or how do they detect us?
I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows. But the larger the group, the more noisy you are. Generally, that's not good. Whether it's your feet upon the ground or the noise you make, I don't know. Maybe it's just your body heat. Maybe they sense it some other way. I don't know. I honestly don't. I don't think anybody really does. We are a large group.
And I'm like Captain Stealth over here.
We just need to be, I guess, careful. Perhaps, she says, it would be better to spread ourselves more thinly. Take a longer, stretch our line out longer, so that we aren't all on top of each other.
It will also help us better hide our numbers.
Only if we're in single file.
Mm-hmm.
But it was near.
Yeah,
It may even have passed within a couple 100 feet of us, perhaps.
No, caution's good. Just make sure we're still within, like, hearing range of each other, so we know if we run into anything that isn't a giant worm.
Indeed. But we are getting close. I estimate another 2 days we should be at least to the top of, and she'll point back up again, to that top of that mountain peak. The mountain is hard going, and it will be considerable effort and tiring, very tiring.
Fair enough.
Good thing I photosynthesized yesterday.
That day, you can start off again. Can I have a
What
D20
day are we
roll?
up to?
This is the third. Can I have a D20 roll, please, from Granum?
Sorry, I just had to take my rations off my thing. I forgot to do that.
Yes, please. Everyone can take 2 days worth of rations off.
Good reminder.
Should have kept my mouth shut, hey?
No.
we would have remembered eventually and had to done more maths. So
Hey, we're more supposed for loot.
Can I have a D20 roll also from Olga, please?
sure.
Okay. The day has worn on pretty well. You didn't have any other encounters. The light rain seems to have disappeared overnight. So it was so light at one stage that you don't even realize when it passed. It's just you realize it's not that way in some way through the day. The ground is getting much more awkward though, and you are starting to become a little bit fatigued and tired from the constant climbing. You're now having to scramble over some very awkward obstacles, get down on your hands and knees at times, or make some fairly heavy going through some very tough underfoot terrain. It's loose. There's a bit of scree when you're trying to go up some hillsides. It makes it tough for the animals as well. Thankfully, you did leave the very large animals, or 2 of them, behind. But can I have everybody please make a con check? If you fail, you will gain 2 fatigue.
You did a roll low.
Nasty.
All right, you've got a 19 con, right?
You're really not good at moving in
Absolutely.
that body yet.
Right? Is there somewhere useful to track fatigue?
So what
We
you
use
do
the,
is, if you click on your icon,
Yep.
and then, oops, I'm on the wrong thing.
There's like a sleepy
Yep.
face.
And there
Yep.
is it's a sleepy face. I need to make a fatigue token.
Yeah,
Mark
custom
myself.
one.
Yep, it's the ninja mask. I think is the one we normally put on.
Okay.
Oh, actually, it's that one
Um,
there. Yep,
Yeah.
that's it. I'll just take that one off.
okay.
Yeah, that's fine. So 2.
Yep.
Make sure you do it for your retainer as well. If you didn't, oh, you did. Cool.
All good.
All right.
We got pretty somewhat decent cons in this party.
You do. I don't know if I have given the scout a con. I did. Awesome. I gave full stats. Excellent. Ability check for her. Con. She failed. She's getting tired.
And who can blame her?
Indeed.
Rough weather.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That night on watch, can I have Maze roll a d6 for me, please?
Is that
Thank
a
you.
5?
It is a 5.
Hey, what's a 5?
Can I have Tiny Tim roll a d6 for me, please?
You may. Oh my god.
That is not a d6.
I did say D6, sorry, my bad.
That's
That was
okay.
not a good roll on a d6 anyway.
Yeah.
Better.
Hey!
And on the
Those
third
are
watch,
on the d6.
and on the third watch, can I have Olga please roll a d6 for me? Excellent. Thank you.
No worries.
The night has passed without too much event. You hear some rumblings off in the distance. You also hear Occasionally, what you think might be the beat of a drum or something like that, or maybe someone hacking at a tree with an axe, some kind of thunk, thunk, thunk type sound, echoing it. And from where you are, it could be miles away and still traveling quite well because you are reasonably high up in one of the mountains at the moment. In the morning, however, as you have started to rise and break your camp, taking another day's ration off, because that was the third day, you do notice, Olra, Treva, and Val, that the ground underfoot appears to be a little bit more green than you remembered last night when you went to sleep, or when you set your camp. The grass that you have encountered previously has been sparse and kind of fairly rough and chock full of weeds. Now it seems to be a little bit more lush and at places ankle length and thick.
We definitely didn't move overnight.
Not that you're aware of.
There's the surrounding features are still the same.
They appear to be the same, yes. Granted, you would have probably made camp just as the sun was going down. Perhaps the mountains and the darkness was playing a trick on your mind. But you're pretty certain that as you go to rouse the others and set about breaking your camp, that things are not quite aligned how you remember.
I mean, this will be a question probably for the druids. Is this what could be causing this? Is this something that could happen that quickly, etc., etc.?
My eyes see better than they used to, so I'm not sure.
Oh, it's not it's not just like spring growth or shoot up after rain. It's like
Overnight though?
things have grown. A lot of stuff will just unfurl once rains come down and stuff like that. But
It
I mean,
could be.
just
but
as an example, some plants grow 2 meters a day. Okay, just saying. But
you wouldn't believe it, but when you see it happen, it does leave you bamboozled.
I was talking about bull kelp, but I like that is also
but mine
a
was
good
a pun.
example. Indeed. Yeah, some stuff really shoots up was what you were talking about.
And yes,
yeah.
this definitely could be that, but you don't think it is. You don't think that the grass that you're seeing is the kind of grass that would do that.
Damn it! This grass is crabby.
Not only that, but as you all start to look around, there seems to be a few more trees than you remember, and they are greener.
Oh.
Well,
There's new trees.
Are they
Are
doing?
they to the trees?
I spend a minute trying to work out if I'm one of the new trees before I realise that, no, that's silly.
No, you are not. You are
I
the
wish I had
old
an
trees.
But it confuses
We've been surrounded by a druid circle, ready to ambush us. Shit.
I wish I had an axe to go and cut one of those trees down.
Hey,
We didn't.
Why?
Again, I guess I'll check with everybody. They didn't hear anything I know it sounds stupid, but you didn't hear the trees moving or anything on your watches.
no, I didn't.
Apparently not.
Yeah.
that's
I
not-
look deeply into the paladin's eyes and say, do you often hear the trees moving around at night?
No, not at all. Which is why I was asking, because it's weird.
I mean,
Good,
they do in the
good.
wind a lot, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I hear the trees moving around a lot. But yes, yeah, okay.
Depends on the
Anywho,
type of
Not to this extent, I'd imagine.
Not walking around, but I hear
Yeah.
them moving around.
Semantics.
Yeah.
Only some
Actually,
speak
I
to
might.
plants.
So you think it happened after sunset?
I
So
mean-
you say something like, prepare yourself, Grail. Exit light, ent, night?
No.
Um,
No.
Is
I
there
I
a
actually
grain of
take it.
sand around somewhere?
I have a look around to see how much how far this phenomenon extends.
Yeah, good question. And Yeah, it seems to be thicker the further afield it goes. In fact, if you didn't know better, and you do know better, you would say that this was you were just about to approach a forested mountaintop. You are on the outskirts of it.
Damn it. Well, it wasn't thick like this last time we came up here, was it?
No. Alyssa's looking a bit perplexed, and she goes up and rubs her hand gently up and down the outside of one of the trees. This tree is not native to this part of the valley, to these mountains.
Roll.
And the
Are
druid,
the
Someone's being
druid
grown
tree that
illegal
she's
plants.
rubbing is getting very excited.
Oh,
There
do
are
the
there are
jingles
trees
are
like this not far from here, but they don't grow this far up. These trees come from the Laughing Woods.
That's a long way away, isn't it?
I mean,
As the
They're
tree
at the
flies.
bottom.
Back down the valley.
It's
Trees often
migratory
fly in your
trees.
experience?
They are. If there were going to be any trees here, there's probably most likely they're going to be from the Laughing Woods, but that's still quite far away. Yes.
They
Well,
yes,
or
they do
how
not grow
far?
in the ground up here. They do not grow at this altitude.
And they're
Yeah.
most likely not going to survive, I'd imagine.
Their roots cannot pierce the stone and the rock.
Like I said, the druids have changed shape.
Yeah, that's the thing. Have we ever heard or seen any of the degenerates attacking the town, taking Kel's rides, like have druid-like powers?
Oh no. Nope,
Like they haven't brought trees or anything weird to bear.
they have not. No.
Okay. I think the lizard folk have like shamans and stuff though. Could
They-
be completely different than
they-
druids.
They do have something like that, you believe? But whether they have these kind of powers, unknown.
Who knows? Who knows what degenerates can do?
Alyssa draws her long knife and cuts a piece of bark off the tree.
I wince.
Just a small bit. And then she holds it up to her nose and she starts smelling it.
Oh,
Would you like help making a tisane of some sort?
I'm just curious.
If it is actually a tree from the Laughing Woods.
To see what it is, yes. Curious perhaps is an understatement. This has me a little bit rattled, if I am honest.
Aren't there
Nothing-
like spirits in the Laughing Wood and you're not meant to go in there?
No one goes into the Laughing Woods. The king of the Laughing Woods sees to that. If the legend is true, the Laughing Wood is full of the she-folk, and he is their lord.
Mm.
That is SIDHE folk, for those
Yeah.
playing at home.
Yeah.
Aren't we all playing at
Okay.
home?
Yes. Well, I don't know. Someone might be driving.
Not this time.
All right. Well, I don't think
Have-
this changes a huge amount.
I haven't been to Wilmaringle in like weeks. Or a week.
Alyssa will drop the bark on the ground, sheath her knife, and point. There is a road over there.
Is there normally a road over there?
What?
No, there
No.
is not. Well, at least there are roads and tracks that have dotted these mountains for centuries, but they are old, they are disused, they are in disrepair, often nothing now more than muddy tracks. But that appears to be more of a road, a dirt road, notwithstanding, but a road that's been maintained. I am unfamiliar with that, and at this point, I am not sure I can guide you properly anymore. I know the direction we have to go, and I know the road, the path that we must tread. But the path is changing.
That's
I'm just curious.
Or some magic shenanigans going on around
I
here.
suspect
yeah,
there's some
basically.
magic shenanigans.
Dispel magic, bam, let's go.
Normally, I'd probably suggest caution at this point, but considering we have 3 druids with us, we possibly might be able to have a good chance of figuring out what's going on here.
Just gonna say, I can't make a forest appear.
Yeah.
Oh no, of course not. But like,
I've
Well,
tried
I
growth.
can, but it takes years and a lot of hard work.
He has to turn himself into a tree and then, sidle up to the female trees and go, "How you doing?"
Sadly, it doesn't A, last that long, and B, I checked, you can't talk to other plants while in tree shape.
You say it with your tree branches. That's tree for how you doing.
Well,
How would you like to rub bark together, baby?
God.
Got
Well, I mean,
pollen
this
for you.
Please don't
bears investigating. Like, this is unusual and strange, and this close to Kel's rise might be of some concern. So I think we should push on and at least try and figure out what's happening here. If not, at least do what we came to. Unless
Well-
we want to turn around.
no.
as
let's
a
press on.
dwarven fighter, this falls into the category of someone else's problem.
Yeah, I'm still of the opinion of if it's not directly threatening us at the moment, let's keep going.
Oh, you are dwarves. How scared of you actual trees are you?
How
I'll
much?
walk up
How
and-
much?
very.
How much?
I'll walk up and hit one of the trees with my morning star.
Okay, it makes a thunking sound.
It's a tree. I'll hit
Has-
it again.
I
very
believe you answered
very
the question yet.
very scientific approach there.
I mean,
Anyway,
trust but verify is kind of a thing.
I'm happy to push on, says Alyssa.
all right.
Oh,
But
As are we.
as I mentioned, my ability to navigate may be compromised. As long as the actual terrain itself hasn't changed much and it's just pushy motions, trees and grass and whatnot, we might be okay. But if it has altered the paths that we must follow, we may end up in dead ends or having to backtrack. I know the route. I know the route I would normally take, and I know the direction and the place we must get to. It is the path between here and there that I am worried about.
oh well.
Is there any
Nothing
sort
to
of
do but do.
Yep.
problem?
I don't find out.
Did you say we had a 10-foot pole?
Yes.
Is it worth using the pole to prod the ground as we go forward to see if there's like an illusionary?
So slow.
Yeah.
An illusion.
Hmm.
Did you never do that as a kid? Just walk along with a stick, pushing in the ground
With
in
a
front of you?
10-foot pole pushing.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Like
That's
just like a
spear or
walking
something.
stick. Yeah,
Well,
sure.
Just sliding on across the ground. So
Yeah,
if
yeah.
there is an illusionary ledge, we're not going to just walk off it like lemmings.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Or we can cast detect magic. I don't know.
Or maybe
Would
one
that
of the
work?
rats
Detect
could just
illusion.
like take point.
Yeah, there you go. Get
Not cool.
the swarm of rats to run ahead. That's a great idea.
Wow, rude.
I don't
Yeah.
like rats. I have repelled
My
vermin.
rats
I
are not your
obviously don't love
slaves.
rats. Agreed.
What was that? What are we agreeing to?
But that
I was agreeing that they're not my slaves.
Yeah. Now, let's just be cautious. I think
Yep.
I don't. It doesn't. This doesn't look like it's going to be filled with traps or anything. But
No,
Yeah,
but it
running
does.
the pole ahead seems fine. Do that if you want.
Stinks of illusion to me.
Fine. So
And-
do the thing
I
with
mean,
the stick.
it's.
You walk
Yeah.
first.
I mean, I turn to Jingles and say, is this something that can you make like convincing illusions.
Well, I do have detect illusions, which could spare us some of the trouble. I believe.
You
but
also
that's-
know, as an illusionist, that if you disbelieve an illusion and you have valid reason for disbelieving an illusion, you can sometimes overcome an illusion and get your faculties back and see through it.
Oh,
There is no home. There is no place like home.
So if you claim that this is an illusion and you have a valid reason for believing it is an illusion, you can make a saving throw of spells to see if you can overcome the illusion.
let's give it a go.
That's-
I believe.
That said,
Oh.
only the very strongest of illusions would hold up to having a knife taken to it or being hit with a morning star.
Yeah.
No, it's fully legit.
Well, I've never seen a rain of trees before, but kind of pleasantly surprised. I'm not against it.
There's no illusions here. Let's go.
Mhm.
Okay, well, let's head out and be careful.
Okay, you start heading
Cautious, I should say.
further up the mountain and slightly, then slightly down, and you find yourselves upon the road. And it is a well-kept road, a dirt road, but it has no growths upon it. It is even. It is not hard. It is not awkward underfoot. The dirt is compacted, which would allow for animals and wagons to traverse it without any kind of issues. And the sides of it are built up with greenery. There are trees. There's long, lush grass as you go further into it, and you start hearing the chip and the chirp of animals scurrying through the underbrush.
Feel like a fool not bringing that wagon now, don't we?
Nah, it's fine.
I would have had a bad time getting it up here, and
Yeah.
like back down the mountain.
Yeah.
Are we
this is
really
fine.
in the mountains still?
Yes.
Can you stop saying this is fine? Because I can see the flames licking around you as you're saying it. It is fine.
Flames are fine. I like fire.
Worst druid since the other two.
Before you realize it, and well before you would otherwise expect it, you suddenly realize that it has grown quite dark. It is as though night has fallen hours before it should have, at least if your time is correct, your time keeping. You believe you've only been travelling to slightly into the mid-afternoon. You should at least, especially this high up, you should have a couple hours left. But it is dark, and so quickly did it come upon you that you haven't set camp. You're still set upon the road.
Do you want to camp
Weird.
up on the road? It's not the worst place.
I haven't put your animals on there, but
Oh no, he's put me on a map.
That's never good.
I can't see anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Top, top right-hand corner.
I mean, I assume we've got some like torches out at this
Right-hand
point.
corner.
you're over here.
Yeah, I've got.
Yeah.
Oh, middle right-hand
Oh.
corner then.
So middle right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right?
Can you see?
I can see. I can see good.
But can all of you
You'd-
see?
Yes.
No.
No,
Yep.
No.
Who can't see? One at a
but I
time.
am human.
I can just see me.
Yeah, you should be able to see
There's
it,
no
but you can
light
see your
source.
token, correct?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
I can see my token.
Everyone can
Yes.
see
Oh.
the token?
Yeah.
I can see
Yes.
everyone's token.
Okay, yes, you can, because you're a dwarf. And
You're,
Yeah.
you're cheating. Yeah.
Brel should have the same, and Jingle should have the same. But Maze can see his token?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That means that's perfect. So you should, if you zoomed right in, you'd have like a very limited visibility around yourself.
5 feet.
Yep, and it's dimming.
Should I be able to see from my retainer or no?
I don't.
Possibly, if I gave your retainer vision, which I did. Can you see? Actually, it's not your retainer. Don't have your retainer on the character on the map. That's
Sure.
why.
That's why. That's fine. That makes sense.
Remind me your character's name was?
Ulra or Treva. Which are you talking about? My main one or my retainer?
Your main.
Ulra.
Ulra, what do your retainer's eyes see?
Yeah.
Yeah, now you can see.
Basically what my eyes see. Fuck all.
Oh. That looks different than what it does to me. How interesting.
What's that?
That's fine. Like the screen grab that I took is different. I wonder if it's because I've got dark mode on. No.
Do any of you wish to put to strike a light source?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, probably at this point,
yeah.
Treva would have gotten a torch out of her backpack.
Yeah, I have a torch too. I'd like to see.
Okay.
Nice.
So there's a torch underneath Treva.
Yep. Cool.
Anyone else wish to get a light source out?
Nope.
No.
Okay. So what were you about to say? Sorry, Henry.
Oh, just that. Do I just? I don't know how the light's set up, but it's just like a hard border at 30 feet. I don't know if I get shadowy vision past that.
Why is that the case? This happened last time. Let me. It's because I had to recreate your token, and I recreated it without updating it.
Yep.
There we go.
I get to see further.
Let me just check the other two as well. No, Jingles is set up correctly, and Brel is set up incorrectly. So let me update Brel. Alright, so Brel, Jingles, and Tiny should be able to actually see about 60 feet. It starts dimming about 30.
Yep.
You guys have been traveling in this direction.
Yep. The kind of northwestish.
Yep.
So when it got dark, was it like? Could we tell because it was like actually going dark because of nighttime, or just because like it was getting really thick with trees?
No, it seems like it's just come over dark. And you don't know if you've actually been traveling for a little bit before you realised it either. It may have been fallen to dusk and twilight and then gone dark, and then you've realised. In fact, that's most likely how you assume it. It has occurred. There are more trees, but the road that you are travelling has no trees over the top. The light would be casting shadows, but it wouldn't be cutting out.
Yeah, okay.
But this couldn't be an eclipse or like seriously dense cloud cover.
It's possible, but it would have to be one
Only see
hell.
stars.
You cannot. It would have to be one hell of dense cloud cover. There were dark clouds in the peaks. You are up towards the peak, or high-ish. Or if it was an eclipse, it all came on very suddenly. At least you believe it did.
Shall we get ready for bad shit?
I mean, we should probably find a place to stop.
Yeah.
Because like if it feels somewhat right, like somewhat towards the end of the day, then it's not like.
I take a step forward.
Yeah. The only problem will come if this is like a permanent section of darkness.
Yeah, but we won't know that until we.
Well, we don't think it should be dark, do we? It's
No.
It's still only lunchtime, so
Well,
No,
mid-afternoon.
it's close to the end of the day.
mid-afternoon. Yeah, but it shouldn't be dark.
I'm just amused that after having been concerned about illusory ledges, you're the first one to step forward where we're put on the map without prodding the ground.
Did you see my saving throw?
No?
I
Yes?
rolled a 4, so I don't
Yeah.
believe there's any illusions. We're all
Alright.
good.
Trust but verify.
No. So good. There's no illusions. It's all fully legit.
So do we want to keep walking for a little bit of time?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting my shield out and making sure my armor's on, and
Those of you with animals, the animals acting as though it was, maybe nighttime.
Why don't we find a spot near here to set up camp?
Yeah.
I mean, we have to move from this spot to do that.
Yep.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So
Alright.
let's go.
Who's
Alright.
in the front?
Ask
Probably
the
over.
dwarven fighter.
Yeah.
There you go.
Can I get control of the torch, please?
Stand
Yeah, I
behind
was
me.
gonna ask that too.
Yep. All right. Let me just go and give controlled by all players and controlled by
Yep.
all players. There you go.
Yeah, thanks.
Would Oliver like to come to the front?
I'm sad that Torchy no longer shows up again.
In the back.
I can't imagine why.
Look, I was only going to write free at last.
Flame on.
Yep.
Tiny gets his sling out. Okay.
Actual sling, not slang, right? Right.
Okay, we're gonna start pushing up this road.
Yep.
Is that the plan? Well, I'll move up to there.
I'm assuming those of you with animals, the animals are right near you, so if we need to put them
Yep.
on, I can put them on in that vicinity. Just
Yep.
just stops you having to move heaps of crap.
Yep.
Jingles is having a
Right.
toke at the moment.
Stepping up again.
Shh.
Ooh, there's wagons on the road up here.
I think there's like
Yeah.
a path up to the right here.
A what?
There's like a path off.
No, it's a tree collapsed.
Mhm.
It's a
No.
cliff.
Yeah, it looks like an edge.
It is
There's a bit of a landslip.
Is
Yep.
it a
Over on
ledge
the one.
down or a ledge up?
a ledge up.
Yeah, that's what I
It
thought.
rises about 5-6 feet up.
Ooh, is this where the
Jingles
bandits
checks
attack?
These
Um,
wagons
our-
are quite large. They are bigger than a normal cart, at least the normal carts you would see upon the road. These are
Giant wagons.
well, they're smaller than what you would assume for a giant wagon. They're just large. They're going to be pulled by a couple very large horses, or be subverted.
Our guide is back over here still.
She is. She is moving behind you guys, and
And Jingles is roaming free.
Jingles, where the fuck you going,
he's
bro?
looking for
I'm
some
just
more.
checking if there's anything hidden in the trees.
He's looking for some new tea leaves,
Nice.
and inverted commas tea leaves.
tea, yeah.
There
But
any
is
traps?
there genuinely anything lurking in the foliage?
There's a crazy little gnome at the moment.
Ah, alright.
But you did notice as you got there was a bit of a cliff towards the edge,
Aha. Cliff's on this side.
and dropping down somewhat.
How are you coping with the reduction in speed there?
Oh.
It's going to keep him alive.
Fatigue, the stumpy legs. I can barely move.
All right.
Stop
Is there any
there.
obvious evidence of foul play around these wagons?
No, there's not. Can you stop there, please? All right, let me.
When you've done that, I have a question.
Stop moving.
Who kept moving? Rocks will fall.
3 guesses.
It can be at least 2 or 3 people. So...
Okay. What I need to do is
Is
I need
throw a
to-
lightning bolt at Tiny.
Oh.
No.
Where's Tiny?
Bring up the list for what's in the wagons.
I need to go to that layer and go to that layer. Suddenly,
This is a giant mimic.
you see a light spring into existence around this tree.
Over here.
Hmm
A light just springs into existence.
Somebody lit
That's
a
what
torch.
I said. Someone lit something.
I think there's invisible people here, folks. I
Hello?
make sure my shield is between me and the tree.
When you start talking sense, it worries me.
Hello in the tree. I will speak in I'll say hello in Druidic, North Manish, Trog, Sylvant, and
Trog
Drakar.
again!
Transmit this in all known languages, including Welsh.
Oh. For the world.
Oh. It's moving.
Yes, so am I.
Oh,
There's a
there's a
person.
person.
Identify yourself.
You see, coming out from the tree is a old lady bearing a lantern. She wears a fine purple dress and a heavy cloak.
Hello.
Knife.
Hello.
That's what it looks like. Let's take it. She's got. Okay, it's not a knife.
Stick.
But
It's a
she's
witch.
but she is about, you estimate, 7 feet tall.
Oh
Oh.
wow.
She's giving
Awesome.
off kind of Carla vibes at the moment. Anyone else feeling that?
Hello, little ones.
You
What are
got old
doing
for a reason.
here? It's
Well-
a long way from your home, isn't it?
It is.
Yes, and we're honestly,
No.
we're wondering.
I'm in nature. That is my home.
Ah, but you are from the valley, yes? I don't get many visitors up here. What? Oh, are these your wagons? I was wondering who left them here.
No, they're not ours. Although,
Well, we're happy to take him. Well, actually, we can't carry them.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
We might take some stuff off them.
Oh, well, I don't know where the owners are. They've been there for a couple of days now. I am the Lady Carla. I welcome you up here to my humble residence. Well, this is not my residence, but it's nearby. I heard you approaching, and I came down to see what all the shenanigans were about.
Well,
Didn't think.
but pleased to meet you, lady Carla. I'm Bill, and we are. Well, I was just wondering, did the people who live the wagons here, did they look a little bit like us?
But I just mentioned that I thought they were your wagons.
Yeah.
I don't know
she's
who
in there.
left the wagons here. She smiles,
Uh.
but it's a kind of a crooked smile, like confused.
you said you came down. Do you live much higher up on the mountain?
Oh, there's a little path going up to my small, humble abode, yes. I haven't had any visitors for some time. Would you like to come up for tea?
That sounds delightful.
Ooh.
I'll be impolite to turn it down.
Yeah, check it out.
Turn
Like,
down.
Yes.
Turn down
Has
for
there-
what?
Oh,
Has there
shut up.
always been like a forest here?
A forest here, always? Well, I guess not. I mean, there would have been a time before where it was just dirt and stone, but...
Has there been a forest here for years?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
And
Ola kind of glances at, sorry, I've forgotten what's our
Alyssa?
friend's name.
Alyssa.
Alyssa. To see if, like,
She's starting to slink off, actually. Looks a bit confused and a little bit concerned. And she shakes her head, and can you actually see her reasonably well?
here, so
Let's have a look what you can see, actually.
I can sort of see her.
I can.
If I select your character token and hit Control L. Oh yeah, she's still mostly in that. She mouths something. It's a single syllable word, you believe.
Run.
Get to the chopper.
I'll let you make a wisdom roll to see if you can
sure.
work out what she mouthed.
You cruel man.
Sure. Ability check.
Wrong button, sorry.
Or was it?
Sure.
Okay, this is what you believe she whispered.
Cool.
Who's mouthing what? This?
Oh, this
Alyssa.
is Ola. Oral's like looking back at Alyssa, just having a non-verbal communication.
Oh. Is it everyone who can see her or just anyone that's looking at her?
She was looking mostly at Olra, but yeah, I'll let anyone else can try and work out. But you can make
if you're not focusing on our new friend.
Yeah,
I'm
I
focusing
can't.
on the new friend.
yeah.
Pretty sure Tiny's facing the wrong way.
I'm like behind the wagon. Would I be able to even see over it?
Probably not. Although, it's not, super high, but you are short.
Oh. I don't know if I would be looking at Lady Carla.
Honestly, I would have been rifling through, and I sort of hear that, and
What about night? Does it normally come on this early?
But it is quite late. That's why I was surprised that there were people upon the road.
It's quite late.
Oh, it would be only an hour or so before midnight, certainly.
We appear to have got ourselves very confused.
What are those wisdom checks for? Jingles and Bal rolled wisdom checks. Was that because you were trying to see what Alyssa was saying?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Jingles sees Tiny.
Jingles has no clue. He turns around, he sees Alyssa mouth something. You two were going to have to do it at half wisdom. Val, you actually make the half wisdom. So this is what you see.
Oh.
This is what you believe. Val, she whispers. Oops, that's not Valley.
It's a shame that it wasn't Tiny. That it wasn't Jingles that saw, since he has stuff.
That's what you believe she whispered, or mouthed, I should say, because no sound emitted from her, towards Olra, as she is backing off and looking very disconcerted.
I'm not surprised.
He's just going to jump up into the cart.
Okay. But yes, it is close to midnight. I'm perplexed as to why you are traveling on. Most people don't travel at night. It is a bit dangerous. Not because anything's going to leap out at you. Nothing like that around here. But you could twist an ankle or hurt yourself, get snagged, or get lost. But anyway, I've found you now. So please, would you like to come up for tea? The fire is roaring and I have a pot upon the stove. I have some delicious tea cakes as well.
That's very hospitable of you.
Probably after we have a look over
Very
this
much
stuff,
so.
though. And Mace will start opening boxes.
Oh, God. Rude.
yeah, true, bro. We'll check it out as well.
I want to know who these people were. Like, what was this
Yeah.
carrying? Why are there wagons up here?
I'm assuming Brielle is. I can tell you the answers. They're people who brought this stuff to here, so I can take it.
So as you start cracking open boxes, you find that they seem to be packed with people's lives, as though people were moving house, home, whatever. There are clothes of varying sizes. There is cutlery. There is crockery. There are, you find one that's got some dolls in it and kids' toys. And
When you
there's
say clothes, do you mean clothes for regular human people,
Yes.
dwarves?
regular
Okay.
human people, but
Regular human people, not like 7-foot
No.
human people.
correct.
Yeah. Okay.
It's possible we all shrunk.
No, I'm pretty sure that if we get anyway, that's fine.
Yep.
Yep.
I get it.
Mm,
Gonna move around so I have line of sight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Okay.
gonna have a
Hurry
look
up
at the other
with your
card.
checking.
I'm just making sure.
Why are
Is
you
there
drawing
more
a
than
line
the other
towards?
card?
Why are you drawing a line towards me with the ruler there, young lady?
Abort! She's got meta powers.
Looking at you with the laser eyes. So I could see you behind the wagon.
interesting.
Is there anything different in the other wagon?
Yeah, the other wagon seems to have more foodstuffs and the like that, and have been covered with a waterproof cloth. It looks like there was probably a waterproof cloth on the first wagon as well. There are elements of it where it would have been secured, but it appears to have been ripped off.
Does it look to the like? Assuming it's a mix of fresh and non-fresh rations, does it look like it's been there more than a couple of days?
The fresh rations still look reasonably fresh. The foodstuffs are mostly hard foodstuffs, even the fresh ones. You're talking about root vegetables and the like.
Yep.
Very little highly perishable goods in there. You even do find a crate of live chickens.
If only I'd built parrot, but I mean,
wow.
O'Brien will we'll love one of those anyway. Oberon.
Mm-hmm. So will Thena and Miz.
So sounds like there's tea cakes and a warm fire.
Oh yes, indeed.
Let's
mean-
get on that,
That sounds lovely.
doesn't it?
Well, come along then. Bring all of you, even your lovely pets. I have plenty of room for all of them, and I have some. It seems they like chickens. I have some chickens. If you like, I can feed your animals as well.
Mm-hmm.
Most hospitable of you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as I said, it's been many years since I've had some visitors from the valley. They don't come up here that often.
Why not? Why not?
Well,
Out of the
why?
way.
Yes, indeed, it's out of the way. There's not much up here for them. I do like my privacy, but occasionally one gets a little bit lonesome and likes to have a chat. I like to know what's going on down the valley. I don't go down there at all. I don't really like it, but the people are okay. I like the people.
Ah.
I like them very much, actually.
If you don't mind my asking, what do you not like about the valley? I agree it's a bit too urban for my tasting.
Well, it's more that when I say I like the people, individually I like the people, but I don't like the silly political games they play. There's too many people down there trying to do things that, there's all that violence down there. I don't like violence. I don't like it when people hurt each other. It's
Best when
altogether.
it can be avoided.
Oh, well, I agree. That is why I moved up here. Out of the way. Occasionally one of my friends will come and visit me, but that doesn't happen very often. But anyway, come on. The house is quite large, and you'll find that there is comfortable bedding, and you should all be able to get out of the wet and get yourself nice and warm. As at this point you realise that it is actually raining. You didn't realise it was raining until she mentioned getting out of the wet.
Well,
That seems sus.
who wants to go to her house and who wants
Me.
to?
I want to go.
I sort of,
I'm so tempted to cast a spell.
I sort of look to the rest of the party.
No, I
Quizzical look.
Grail, did you see my whispers?
I will go and check them. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yep, that's
'Cause
fine.
That may start something. We'll see how we go.
Okay.
It's some detect evil.
Are you casting
She-
it or are you using your innate ability?
In my innate ability, I can't cast anything at the moment.
Okay, cool. This is true. You cannot.
Aura looks intensely at the 7-foot lady.
Why are you starting it here?
Mhm.
This is so far away from her house.
I love that
It's
we shouldn't.
so-
I'm gonna have to find her house later.
I know. I was
Ah.
like, if we we may as well at least have her take us to her place.
Yep.
Sure. I will whisper to you.
Yeah, thanks.
Maze has probably signaled behind his back in way speak, which I'm not sure how many people actually understand.
I'm not behind him anyway.
I
But
think
sus.
I might. Yeah, I understand.
Interesting. Okay.
Sus
Sorry,
AF
what speak?
probably smells of rotting vegetation.
Wish I had an ornithopter.
She does look at you when you're doing that, Aura, and
Yep.
her smile broadens.
Cool. Aura will say out loud then. Yeah, I think we should take her up on her offer. It is quite unpleasant here, and some shelter would be lovely. And
Marvelous.
we'll start moving towards. What is everybody else doing?
All right.
Do you want
Yeah.
us moving, Grail, or are you going to transition us?
Well, it all depends if certain rat queens are about to start shit.
Yeah, that's it.
So we're not moving then, is what you say.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what the plan of a certain Lady V
I'm
is.
not gonna do anything.
Trust me, I'm
Let's see
innocent.
what the party does.
I cast detect bullshit. It's so bright.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Something else. Oh, no.
Very well. Just follow me. Now, I do ask that as you approach my house, be mindful that I have some rather interesting architecture. Please don't be concerned. Don't be afraid. The gargoyles are alive, but they're friendly.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck that.
They will move, they will move, and they will watch you, but they're only friendly. They're there to protect me. They will not hurt you, but I'd like to let people know who are coming to the house for the first time not to get scared, because sometimes, well, when I say sometimes, there was a time I forgot to tell people, and she raises her hands in kind of, mock sadness, confusion, indignation. There were accidents, and I don't want to be responsible through my lack of informing you of any unfortunate incidents. My new friends, please follow me. And we'll end it there.
Not ominous at all.
Feel free to vote for MVP. It should be a token action, although I don't know actually if I made it a token action for
So to
Dan.
speak. You didn't. I added it to my bar.
It's whether or not you get the right one. Oh, no, you get the right one. Cool. Thank
Well,
you.
I thought I could have added the original party, but the second party seemed better.
Yes.
And ready to start some shit next session.
Whoa.
Okay, Granum gets MVP, and
Why,
Val
thank you.
gets the runner-up. All right, I will leave it there. You're not getting blessings at the moment, so the MVP runner-up gets something different. Cool. And I just realised I recorded this in 4K, so there's going to be like 60 gig.
Who was AV? Who was second place again, Grail?
Val.
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 Val Venvaris. Thanks.
For being stuff.
For not starting stuff. Yeah.
Not this session anyway.
Oh,
Although
I think if I was-
you're most likely MVP for starting stuff as a so.
Cool.
If
All
I
right.
was gonna start some shit, I'd have to ask a lot of questions about the environment and my abilities.
Mhm.
And thank you, Grail, again. Another
Thank you.
very enjoyable
Thank
session.
you.
It's good to get this on going again.
Indeed.
Mm.
Cool.
Yeah.